flashes, or new floaters, if you have difficulty seeing distances, if there's a sharp pain in one eye, along with vision changes, or if you have trouble driving because of glare, these are all good reasons to make your appointment with the doctors at Ophthalmology Associates, 314-966-5000 and youridoc.com. And if your eyes are itchy and scratchy, that might be more than allergies. The doctors, Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Andrew Royer, and Robert Brusati are also leaders in dry eye diagnosis and treatment. I've been a patient of theirs for about 25 years. In Sullivan, St. Peter's, and their main headquarters, 270 in Manchester, 314-966-5000 and youridoc.com.
This season, give the gift of Cardinals ticket packs. 5, 6, and 10 game packs are on sale now and feature 2023's highest demand games and promotional giveaways. Choose from the opening day pack, the t-shirt pack, bobblehead pack, and more. New for 2023, check out the swag pack. Give the gift that lasts all season, all baseball season. Cardinals ticket packs start at just $54 and are on sale now at cardinals.com/holiday.
This holiday season, check off your shopping list with Cardinals Baseball 2023. All-inclusive tickets start at just $59 and feature a full buffet, complimentary bar, plus a great view of the game. Choose from the Premium Legends Club, the UMB Champions Club, Proficient Red Jacket Club, National Car Rental Club. Give the gift of date nights, the gift of family time, the gift of Cardinals Baseball. Get your single game all-inclusive tickets now at cardinals.com/holiday.
Yes, with inflation, interest rate increases, and a possible recession looming, we are no doubt facing uncertain times in the housing market. But as a realtor with over 20 years of experience, I can tell you, if you're thinking of selling your home, now more than ever, you need a realtor to help you through these times while saving you money. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty, and we offer all of this for only 4%. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Hey there, it's Hancock and Kelly for First Mid-Bank and Trust, a local bank right here in St. Louis with over 157 years of experience and 19 locations across the greater St. Louis area.
Yeah, First Mid-Bank and Trust is perfect for small business owners. You need a partner that you can count on, and that is First Mid-Bank and Trust, and they're great for everybody, whether you're saving for your first home, paying off debt, or planning for retirement. Check them out online, firstmid.com. You'll be glad you did.
We go where you go. 1120 AM, 98.7 FM, KMOX.com.
Hip, hip. To the Quiver River guest line we go here on the show on KMOX. A good Thursday morning to all of you. It is the 1st of December. And we are joined now by our weekly guest, Major Garrett from CBS News, here on the show this morning. And thanks for being with us once again, Major. How you doing?
I'm great. Good morning. I just want to let you know I'm at Dulles Airport flying to Boston this afternoon. So if you hear a little airport noise, that's the explanation.
Love the ambiance. I love the airport.
He's a man on the move.
I love the airport.
We should do all these hits from the airport. Can I ask why you're going to Boston?
Giving a speech on the book, The Big Truth, at St. Anselm College in Manchester, New Hampshire.
Very nice. Very exciting. Well, Congress is back for their lame duck session back after a Thanksgiving break. What is the agenda and what's expected to get done before Congress changes hands?
Okay, the biggest issue right now is avoiding a railroad strike that is scheduled to start in about a week. Congress has and has always had the ability through legislation to impose a deal on the various railway unions, and once several of those unions failed to ratify the agreement brokered by the White House, the president said, Congress, Democratic-led Congress, you've got to impose this deal. The House has done that. The Senate's going to take it up today. And if that get resolved and that agreement is essentially enforced by federal law, which is what would happen, then the calendar clears up for lots of other things. There needs to be a spending bill to continue the budget operations of the federal government. There needs to be a defense spending agreement on that. There is an outline there of $45 billion more in defense spending than the president originally called for. That will probably appease Republicans. So the railway strike issue, number one. Number two, funding the government. Number three, funding the Defense Department. And number four, Electoral Reform Act. If those four things get done, I think everyone in Washington, Republican and Democrat, well, not all Republicans, because they would be unhappy with some of the spending, would regard it as a successful lame duck.
So, in regard to the rail situation, the White House, the Congress stepping in to try and force this so that there isn't a strike and it would be catastrophic, I think, obviously economically. Is this the right thing for them to do? Because it almost seems like the rail companies wanted this to happen. Like they wanted the government to step in and force a decision here.
Well, it might have been the unions also wanting the government to step in to say, look, we negotiated the thing the best we could, and guess what? You didn't ratify. Don't blame us. Congress stepped in. I mean, everyone around this negotiating table has always understood that Congress possessed this power through national security means to avoid what would be catastrophic, either in terms of economics or national security. So this power has always existed. And believe me, in the White House, when it convened this special panel in September to negotiate a deal, told everyone around the table, you put your best deal together, but if you don't ratify, don't forget, Congress has this power. I'm reluctant to use it, the president said, but if I have to, I will. And if this thing goes to December, do you think I'm going to have a rail strike up against Christmas? Forget it. It's not going to happen. The one thing that's interesting about this, and I think one thing that members of Congress of both parties are somewhat hesitant to do, one of the sticking points and the reason some of the unions didn't ratify is there was no sick paid leave in the new agreement. Well, now Congress is adding that on. Well, do you really want lawmakers to be adding things that weren't negotiated at a negotiating table? I mean, do you really want Congress to be that particular and specific about unwieldy labor negotiations? Most members of Congress would prefer not to go down that road, just ratify the deal as it is, use the power that's long existed. But if that sick leave thing is added and the House has approved it, and one of the sticking points in the Senate is, does that get a vote and does it prevail? Then you'll have Congress sort of fly-specking a labor agreement in the 11th hour.
Do you think that is precedential, potentially moving forward, or do you see this as an anomaly?
Everything has the possibility of being precedent once it becomes federal law. Now, this could be treated as a one-time carve-out, a super exceptional set of circumstances. But every other industry watching this would say, well, maybe next time we can get a special interest add-on like this. Everything like that, once you do it, makes it doable the next time. Mm-hmm. It's not doable when it's never been done before, but once it's been done once, it can be done again.
Well, I know that the Respect for Marriage Act was passed by the Senate. That's something that the House will look at. You obviously also mentioned the railway strike. There's also a burden to keep the government running past December 16th. I think House Republicans reportedly met yesterday in a closed-door meeting and voted in favor of keeping earmarks for annual spending bills so that lawmakers can negotiate their little pet projects. Where are we with that, and what do you expect will come out of these negotiations so that the government can or can't move past December 16th?
So the government will move past December 16th. There's not going to be a shutdown. Nobody has an interest in that, specifically Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. And House Republicans, some of them would like to have a short-term spending deal so they can negotiate things better and drive a harder bargain early next year. But the problem is the midterm elections did not produce for House Republicans a large enough majority to give whoever the Speaker of the House may turn out to be. Odds on it's Kevin McCarthy, but that's by no means clear. There's no real path for them to do hard things with such a small operating majority. So the thinking, certainly among Senate Republicans, is let's do a deal for a whole year, because we can't rely on Kevin McCarthy, if he's the Speaker, or somebody else not named Kevin McCarthy, holding that coalition together. And if they can't hold the coalition together in the House, you can't pass anything. And if you can't pass anything, then the government will shut down. So the midterm elections are having a very real effect on the budget negotiations and what's likely to happen in this lame duck session. There's an old saying in politics, elections have consequences, and a slender majority for Republicans, much smaller than they were anticipating, is having real world effects.
The House Select Committee has said that in the coming weeks, they're going to release everything, all of the work that they have done up to this point. And we know that there's going to be a turnover in the House, so that committee is going to be dissolved. What's going to be the outcome of this, and what are we expecting?
Yeah, there are two enormous hourglasses right now in the House of Representatives. One hourglass is the January 6th Select Committee. What is it going to release? What is its book going to be about this particular moment in American history? And what has yet to be told by the committee that will be learned in that book? There'll be about 1,000 pages at least, lengthy appendices and everything else. What's the other hourglass? The other hourglass is the House Ways and Means Committee, which, as the Treasury Department yesterday said, has finally received 6 years of former President Trump's tax returns. What's it going to do with that information? How is it going to convey that to the public? What legislative recommendations are it going to make? Because those hourglasses run out at the end of this calendar year, starts on January 3rd, and Republicans have no interest in either one of those things. They don't want Trump's taxes, and they don't want the January 6th committee to go on. So both are up against it. So those hourglasses play out before our very eyes. We'll see lots of information, lots of things disgorged out of Washington in the closing days of calendar year 2022. Be a lot of reading for people like us late into this calendar year.
And the way that Congress approaches those hourglasses, how is that affected by Trump announcing that he will be running for president?
You know, I would say the effect of that has been smaller than most expected. It doesn't feel tidal at all like it did in 2015 and 2016. And I know in 2015, initially, it didn't feel very important. People were sort of dismissive about it. But by August, September, October, certainly of that calendar year 2015, Trump was leading and leading consistently, and the rallies were becoming a bigger thing, and they were covered on television. All of that created a sense of momentum and a sense of heft. I will tell you in Washington, now look, there is a big coin flip right now. Can Trump be the nominee? Should he be the nominee? Can we find another path? All that is sort of coin flipping in the way the Republican infrastructure in Washington is thinking about Trump. But he's not moving things very much in any positive direction for himself. And the infamous dinner with Ye and Nick Fuentes has only complicated things for him considerably. So there's very little sense that, oh my gosh, what's Trump doing or thinking, and how does that affect all these other things? I don't think he has very much effect on these things right now. The post-midterm analysis for Republicans about how to govern in the future, how to talk to voters in the future, and how to build a coalition that's durable in the future are much more a part of this lame duck than Trump's run again in 2024.
Major Garrett's book is The Big Truth. It is available everywhere now and also on the Takeout podcast. Major, who do you have coming up?
Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, recently reelected, and he's a Republican, and Democratic Secretary of State of Michigan, also recently reelected, Jocelyn Benson. Both were opposed by election deniers, and I talked to them both about the future of election denialism in our country. It's a great conversation.
Awesome. Have a safe flight and talk to us
Thank
from
you.
an airport every week if you want. Find the busiest place possible and talk to us. We don't care. We love you.
I'll do my best. Guys.
Thanks, Major. That is Major Garrett, CBS Chief Washington Correspondent, with us on the show. It's Amy and Chris on KMOX.
Hey, it's Matt Pauley. Next week, join me and Mike Claiborne as we are live in San Diego for baseball's winter meetings. The Cardinals are expected to have an active offseason, and the dominoes could start falling at the winter meetings. Every signing, every rumor, every trade, KMOX Sports will be on top of it on air, online, and on social media. KMOX, the winter meetings in San Diego, is brought to you by Goodwill. Donate a car for 4 free Cardinals box seats.
KMOX News Time is 10:29. Donate a car, get a tax receipt, and tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium at mersgoodwill.org.
For more than 100 years, the Center for Hearing and Speech has been empowering communication right here in the St. Louis region. The center's expert staff provide comprehensive audiology services, hearing and vision screenings in schools, speech therapy services, and testing for workers in high-noise environments. Thanks to their generous supporters, hearing and speech services are available regardless of an individual's ability to pay. To learn more, contact the Center for Hearing and Speech by calling 314-968-4710 or go to chsstl.org.
Now your Bite This Network traffic report. It looks like every vehicle in the country is currently headed to Hardee's for a saucy A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99. You heard that right. Every single car, truck, and annoying electric scooter thing all heading to Hardee's. But don't take a detour. Hit the brakes on your hunger with a Char-Broil Double Deal. Bite into the new A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99, only at Hardee's. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price may vary. A1 is a registered trademark of Kraft Foods used with permission.
If you owe the IRS, you have a legal issue, and you need the Lance Drury Law Firm. We'll protect your rights. Log on at lancedrurylaw.com.
Happy holidays. This is Ron Kraszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel Financial, a global wealth management and investment banking firm with over 9,000 associates headquartered in St. Louis. This time of year, let us be thankful for the many blessings that bring us together. From our Stifel family to yours, we wish you a joyful holiday season and much success in the year to come.
At 10:30, we have sunny skies, 35 degrees. It feels like 27 downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel. Multiple injuries reported after a school bus crashed into a house in Rockland County in suburban New York. Police say it happened just before 9 a.m. Photos posted on social media show a yellow school bus against a building alongside an overturned car. News reports say several children and the bus driver were taken to hospitals for treatment. Police have released no details on the severity of their injuries. Presidents Joe Biden and Emmanuel Macron are holding talks centered on the war in Ukraine, concerns about China's increasing assertiveness in the Indo-Pacific, and European dismay over aspects of Biden's signature climate law. The president is honoring Macron with the first state dinner of his presidency tonight. Georgia voters have cast more than 1 million ballots ahead of the December 6th U.S. Senate runoff between Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock and Republican challenger Herschel Walker. Warnock is looking to juice an apparent Democratic head start in early voting with a visit today from former President Barack Obama. He will campaign on the eve of the final day of early voting. The Cardinals' 11th annual holiday toy drive underway until 2 this afternoon outside Busch Stadium at Gate 4. Michael Hall, the executive director of Cardinals Care on Total Information AM, explains what happens to that new unwrapped toy or gift card that you bring.
You know, all the toys we kind of distribute or separate, if you will, once we collect them all and distribute them evenly amongst our partner organizations, and then they distribute to the kids that they support.
The partners include American Red Cross, Angels Arms, Annie Malone, Mary Grove, and Southside Early Childhood Center. There is a stalled vehicle, 55 southbound before Germania. It's on the right shoulder. Another stall to watch for 70 westbound before Jennings Station. Will be prepared to stop in that location. The KMOX forecast for this afternoon, look for plenty of sunshine. It will be chilly still, the high 44, cloudy tonight, the low 37. And then a windy Friday with partly sunny skies, the high 56 degrees. Right now it's sunny, 35. It feels like 27 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Carol Daniel, KMOX News.
When you need to know what's happening, it's time to get in the huddle.
You're fraudulent. You're not in the business of winning football games. You're in the business of trying to prove your own asinine decisions correct. We can talk about the Irsay thing. Do I think the Saturday thing is the biggest joke in the history of the NFL? I do. But at least he was willing to say, this ain't working for me. I don't care that I just gave him extension.
Listen to In the Huddle, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcast.
Filing for Social Security could be one of the biggest financial decisions of your lifetime. Find out why with Your Retirement Professors, Saturday afternoons at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
So delicious in every bite. Dad's cookies, they taste so right.
Dad's cookies go mighty fast this time of year, so stock up next time you're shopping. And for an easy and unique gift for out-of-town family and friends, give them the sweet taste of a St. Louis tradition by ordering at dadscookies.com.
The taste made just for you.
And in stores everywhere.
Dad's Cookies.
dadscookies.com.
Your home of the Cardinals.
Arenado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of here.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win!
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
We are America's sports voice, KMOX.
It's the show on KMO. What are you looking at me like that for on KMOX? You looked at me really odd.
I'm looking at you. Everybody's got the flu.
Everybody does have the flu.
Everyone
Everybody
I
does.
know has the flu.
And by the way, before we get to that, we're scheduled to talk with Kenny Wayne Shepherd, who is a guitarist. The Trouble is 25. It's a re-record of his 1997 second album, and it is being released. And he's going to be joining us, or we're at least scheduled to talk with him shortly. But as you mentioned,
Maybe he has the flu.
I hope not.
Hits
The flu is not great.
I hate the flu. The flu, here's the thing. Okay. So I know we've all been talking about COVID, right? Everyone talks about COVID for the past 100 years. We've been talking about COVID. And the bar was so low for COVID. The bar for COVID was,
Well, you're not
going to
gonna
die.
die. Yeah.
Which, of course, like a lot of people did die, but like, if you're healthy, right? If you're a healthy young person, you don't have any comorbidities, maybe you're vaccinated, people say, well, you're not going to die. That is a very low bar because COVID made you feel awful. And you know what else makes you feel awful? The flu, the real flu. People throw the term flu around whenever they have a stomach ache. Like, I got the stomach flu. I was sick for 11
That's a stomach
hours.
virus.
That's not the flu.
It's different.
The flu is different. The flu really is like being run over by a cement truck, and the aches and the coughing and the stomach, like the whole thing. The flu is really bad. Even if you don't die from it, I still don't want it.
You don't want it. And the problem is at this point of the year, a lot of people are getting it. And the reason we're talking about it now is Barnes Jewish Hospital has said that they are seeing about between 20 and 40 new patients a day coming into the emergency room with those flu-like symptoms. What's interesting about, not interesting isn't really the right word, but the reason it is newsworthy right now is we are seeing the highest level of influenza hospitalizations in at least 11 years. Going back, you have to go back to 2010 or 2011 to see what we are seeing right now.
We've already surpassed last year's peak, which we hit at the end of December. You mentioned 20 to 40 people at BJC in St. Louis are going to the ER every day, and 10 to 20 of those are being admitted. It's a huge strain on hospital resources.
And that's the problem. And that was the problem during COVID. And what people, hospital administrators, doctors were pleading with the public about, please distance into, and wear the masks in any moment that you can, as often as you can. And then when the vaccines came out, please do that too, because there was such a strain on the medical system. Because when you have a hospital that is overloaded with people who have COVID and who are sick with that, other things can't get done. People who need procedures that were scheduled procedures get pushed off for various reasons. One is safety and the other is manpower. They just don't have enough people who can do all of these things. And then you start to really stress the system. That was the major problem with COVID. Despite the deaths, you have the problem of people who need routine stuff done. Maybe they were supposed to get an examination. My mom was supposed to get a colonoscopy, and I think it got pushed back 5 or 6 times because of COVID and because there wasn't enough staffing to take care of it during all of that. Now, here's what's happening, I think, anyway, and I'm sure that when we go back and assess this after the fact, we're going to find that I'm right about this. The reason this is happening now is people were kind of ho-hum about the flu vaccine anyway. Sometimes I used to get it sometimes. Other times I would get it, but other times I would not. I try to get it all the time now, and I try to get it every year. But people are so anti-vaccines now, just because of all the insane rhetoric over the last couple of years regarding them.
Do you think
I think they're pushing off all vaccines.
See, I don't know. I don't know about that because I know a lot of people were ho-hum about the flu vaccine. I have been vaccinated for COVID. I don't think I've ever gotten a flu vaccine. I very rarely get sick. I don't usually get the flu. I think I've gotten the flu once as an adult.
Yeah.
And so I know people say, well, but you can pass it on, and you're right. But for whatever reason, I've been the same way that I'm ho-hum about sunscreen, which is really important. I've been ho-hum about the flu vaccine, but I got the COVID vaccine. I got the booster. And I know a lot of people who did not get the COVID vaccine who have no trouble going to they went to Africa, and you have to get like malaria shots and all of those shots before you travel. And they don't
Right.
have trouble with that, or they join the military. I think you have to get 15 vaccinations when you join the military. So I'm not sure that the pushback that we've seen with the COVID vaccine will translate to all vaccines, because a lot of people who didn't want the COVID vaccine have every other vaccine.
That's true. The excuse for a lot of people was, it's not tested enough and we
Yeah.
don't know much about it. We don't know the long-term effects. Well, it is now the most tested vaccine in history, but I do think there's just a general feeling against doing it at all. And I don't think people are going to get the flu vaccine, but not the COVID one. I don't think that's happening any longer. We could pick up this conversation a little bit later now, because joining us now on the Quiver River guest line is Kenny Wayne Shepherd, guitarist. Got an album coming out. In fact, it is a re-record of an album from 1997. Trouble is 25, and Kenny is with us now on KMOX. Good morning, Kenny. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, man, we're having a great time today. So this is an album that was defining for you, and I know there are a lot of people out there who are very excited about this and can't wait to get it, whether it's on CD, vinyl. I know that you can do digital downloads just like everything else. How exciting was it for you to work on this project?
It was really amazing trip down memory lane for us. My second album was one of our most successful. I mean, it was a monumental record for us and for the genre. And so, I just didn't think a social media post would just, do it justification. I mean, we decided to do it up big to celebrate, a quarter century of this music. So we went back in the studio and re-recorded this album, did a fresh take on it, but still true to the original. It has the vibe, we just made some subtle changes so that you're having a new listening experience. We included a bonus track, a song that was originally recorded for the record but never made it on the album, a Bob Dylan song called Ballad of a Thin Man. And then we did a documentary film where we tell the story of the making of the original Trouble Is record, which is a really interesting story, to be heard. And then we're doing a tour, and we're playing the whole album live in concert for the very first time. And we filmed the first show, and that's coming out on live DVD. So, there's a lot of things that we did to try and make this really special and acknowledge, the significance of this record for us.
Right. And not only, like you said, do you have a new interpretation of it, but to keep with what a groundbreaking album it was and the sound of that album, didn't you use the exact same 1961 Fender Stratocaster model?
I did actually have all the original equipment that we used on the record. So I pulled out all the old amplifiers, the effects pedals, the original guitars, all the stuff that I used on that record when we first recorded it. And some of those amplifiers hadn't even been turned on for like 20 years, but they fired right up. And I played a few notes, and I'm like, there's that sound. It's right there. So, that was like 90% of the sound, for my sound on that record. And I had all the stuff, thankfully, to recreate it.
You know what's really interesting about instruments that I've always found is that I was at a concert one time. It was a U2 concert, and I brought a friend of mine with me, and The Edge, who was the guitar player, he probably plays a dozen different guitars. And my buddy said, why does he do that? Like, what's the point? Like, why does he have to change guitars before every song? And I've always found it fascinating that you, as a guitarist, you can tell subtle differences that maybe the audience doesn't necessarily tell. Like, you can hear things that maybe the rest of us don't.
Well, that's, that's part of being, a professional musician, and also just, from his perspective. I mean, I rotate a lot of guitars in the show too, and there's multiple reasons for doing that. First of all, each instrument does sound different. Even if it's, you're going from one Stratocaster to the next Stratocaster, they still have different characteristics and different sounds about them, But the other thing is like for him in particular, they use all these weird tunings and stuff. So each song, he may have a different tuning on the guitar. And so you have to switch so that he's not having to slow the show down by retuning his guitar in between every song. And then, I have some guitars that, have their own personalities. So, they have names, and the fans are fans of those guitars in particular, and they want to see them played on stage. So, some guitar guys come out just to see those guitars get used.
Everybody has a different style. And for a lot of musicians, they learn certain key tenets of playing music and certain things that are done a certain way as they have been over the course of decades. But what I love about your story is that you are self-taught. And I feel like when you're self-taught and you learn in a way that you have to figure out for yourself, you're not necessarily, someone's not telling you what to think, what to hear, what to feel. Did you discover things that you maybe just did your way that other musicians were surprised by just because you had to figure it out on your own?
Well, for me, my approach to learning was really unconventional. It was pretty tedious. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it for everybody, but it worked for me. But the thing that it did is, I can't read sheet music. And so I can't just look at a piece of paper and play a song. I have to put some time and real effort into learning it, memorizing it, stuff like that. So the other thing is because I don't have all this education behind, music, then the only thing I have to rely on are my ears and my musical intuition and what I feel inspired to play. And so that's why my playing in particular and my music is all based around feel. I just want to put every note that I play, I want to put my heart and soul into it, and I want to evoke emotion. And I let my heart and soul kind of guide me through the music and as to what to play.
Kenny Wayne Shepherd, guitarist, has about 20 albums. He's done a lot of music, and his newest one is called Trouble Is 25, and it is a re-record of the 1997 album, your second album, and it is out right now, CD, vinyl. You can get it digitally as well. Hey, good luck on the tour starting next year, right? January, you've got a tour coming up?
Yeah, we actually started this tour in February of 2022, and it was the 25th anniversary concert where we played the album live for the first time. And, we thought, we'll do it for a few months. But, I mean, the reaction has been so great, and it was selling out all over the place. And fans were like, come to our town, bring it to our town. They want us to take it to Europe. So we're going to Europe in April next year as well. So it's a continuation. The tour keeps getting extended because the reaction has been so great.
Get the album. It is Trouble Is 25. Kenny Wayne Shepherd joining us on KMOX. Again, best of luck, continued luck and success. And it sounds great. And we were glad to have you on today. Thanks, Kenny.
Thanks for having me, guys.
That is Kenny Wayne Shepherd. And again, you can get that album, wherever you get albums. I love vinyls, by the way.
Yes.
I'm so into it. And I wish that I had kept all the vinyls I had when I was a kid, but I wasn't, I'm stupid, right? And when you're young, you don't think about the fact that the medium that you're using now, albums, which then became tapes. Everybody's using cassette tapes, and then it becomes CDs. You don't think about the fact that maybe 20 years from now, you're going to want those vinyls again.
Well,
don't have any of that stuff anymore.
Right. And vinyls are physical music. And I think we were excited when you had, I never used 8-tracks, but then 8-tracks and cassette tapes and CDs. And while they were technologically advanced, relatively speaking, they were so short-lived, both cassette tapes, 8-tracks especially, but cassette tapes and CDs. There's not that sentimental value. There's also not that aspect of physical music like vinyl. And so there has been a huge resurgence of the popularity of vinyl albums. All these new modern artists, singer-songwriters are releasing songs on vinyl. So Gen Zers are buying vinyl, have vinyl collectors. Urban Outfitters, sells vinyl. And I know that the machines that press these records, they're old. We're talking from the 1940s and 50s. We visited I think it was RCA Records in Nashville. And to fix the machines, they're having to find parts all over the world. And so there's a backlog of artists wanting to put their albums on vinyl.
Amy Marks Core's Chris Ranji will tell you what's trending when we come back on the show.
Well, I am so excited to work with the Salvation Army again this holiday season for their Tree of Lights campaign. And this is the 75th anniversary of the Salvation Army Tree of Lights campaign. The Salvation Army is personal to me for a lot of reasons. One, all the money stays right here in St. Louis. You are quite literally helping your neighbor in need. You're helping the family down the street from you that is struggling to put food on the table. You are helping a child just across the way who otherwise wouldn't have a gift to open on Christmas morning. You're helping a veteran who is dealing with PTSD or addiction and now finds himself or herself homeless on the streets of St. Louis. The Salvation Army is right here in our community. I know for me, that was my first touch point with charitable giving and helping those less fortunate than I am, because when I was a little kid, I could put the money in the little red kettle at the grocery store. They had the bell ringers, and I knew that I was doing something good. And you can join the greater good by joining me and the Salvation Army. I'm so excited to let you know that I have my virtual red kettle up. Go to salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores. salarmy.us/Amy Mark Scores. Let's contribute to that red kettle, help the Salvation Army and our neighbors in need.
Winter Wonderland, presented by Byerly RV at Tillis Park, is open now through December 30th. Enjoy more than 1 million dazzling lights with holiday characters and festive scenes while listening to your favorite Christmas songs. You'll never see anything like Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. More details at KMOX.com. And happy holidays from Washington University Orthopedics, Neighbors Credit Union, Kirkwood Fence, Design Air Heating and Cooling, and Telly Tire and Auto Centers.
All right. Funny story today. What happened at the office? I was trying to shred. It didn't do it. There was no noise. It wasn't doing anything. And Michelle, who is works in the office, she is truly a great employee. She goes, oh yeah, but sometimes if you shake it, she got up, she walked over and she shook it. She goes, now try it. And I put the document in and it worked. And she goes, see, there, fixed. That's the reason she's in the office and she's not one of my techs. That is true. So today, Wednesday, I'm gonna make this month every Wednesday. It's gonna be Michelle Day. Keep up the good work. Now, if you do need something fixed, it will not be Michelle that will be coming out. It'll be me and one of my great techs. So call me, Bart Inman. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. Just this one number and one name. 314-293-2600 or BartInman.com.
This is Debbie Monterey with a real estate update and some insight from my friend and trusted realtor, Gloria Liu, with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria told me that sitting on the sidelines may not be the best strategy moving forward in this continually shifting market. Homes aren't selling as quickly, and in most cases, price reductions are becoming pretty common. Gloria also said that earlier this year, with low inventory, sellers didn't need a strategy to sell homes because homes were listed and sold immediately. Now more than ever, it's crucial to have a proven strategy to get your home sold, and that's why I strongly suggest you call local real estate expert Gloria Liu before you list your home to get the absolute most money. Gloria is so confident that she will sell your home, she'll guarantee in writing upfront to sell it at your agreed-to price and time frame, or she'll buy your home herself. Learn more by calling Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888, 314-325-6888, or online at gloriahasthebuyers.com.
This is Corey from Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. If you have a furnace, boiler, air handler, or a heat pump that needs service, repairs, or might need to be replaced, contact us at aircomfortservice.com. We offer 24/7 emergency service, maintenance plans to keep your system operating at maximum efficiency, and free estimates if your heating system barely made it through last winter. Get in your comfort zone and heat your home safely this winter with Air Comfort Service Heating and Cooling. Contact us at aircomfortservice.com. That's aircomfortservice.com.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than four? 314-441-4444. Amy Marks Court.
Fabulous.
Chris Ranji.
Unbelievable.
On the show.
What is it? What's happened? What's going on? What do you know?
What just happened?
What happened? You need to know.
Trending now on the show.
What's trending? Sponsored by Old Town Donuts in Florissant. and in Cottleville. I'm afraid to click on it.
Okay.
Although it's got to be good, right?
Okay. What is it?
St. Louis is trending.
Oh no, can't be good.
Well, sometimes it's good.
Is it the World Cup players, Josh Sargent and Tim
You know
Ream?
what? That's exactly what it is.
Is it
Josh
really?
Sargent
Yeah.
is day-to-day for the game against Netherlands on Saturday, which is hopefully good news. We hope that he's able to play. Again, he had an ankle injury that he suffered jumping over an Iranian player the other day in their win to advance them to the knockout rounds. He had tears in his eyes, they said, when he was on the sideline, but they say he's day-to-day. Hopefully he's going to be good to go. Christian Pulisic, he says he is doing everything in his power to be able to play on Saturday. Still seems optimistic, so hopefully he is good to go. Also, he said today, quote,
Yes.
"No, I didn't get hit in the balls,"
Good.
end quote. Because everyone...
Soccer balls?
Well, sure.
Okay.
And the reason he said that was because everybody speculated that the injury he had, which has been called an abdominal injury, a pelvic bruise,
Pelvic contusion.
Same thing.
And they speculated because that's what it looked like.
It looked
bad.
as he scored the game-winning goal in that game on Friday. No.
Yes.
Friday. No, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Wait.
Oh yeah. What day
It was
is it?
Tuesday.
Today's
Who knows,
Thursday.
man?
Anyway.
Yeah, when he scored that goal anyway, it was it looked pretty bad, and he wasn't able to continue playing. He did for a minute, and then he didn't come out for the second half. But hopefully he is good to go because the United States will need it against a very, very good Netherlands team. By the way, that game is at 9 a.m. our time on Saturday.
It's going to be a very, very tough game.
Yes, it will be.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that people will be out and ready to go. Ballpark Village, Amsterdam Tavern, all the places.
To quote, oh my gosh.
What?
The Mike Myers movie.
Austin Powers?
Yes, to quote Austin Powers, if there's two things I hate in this world, it's intolerance for other people's cultures and the Dutch.
Okay.
You know what?
What?
I don't like your attitude.
Megan Carter with Mad St. Louis will be joining us next. Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji about to start the second hour of the show.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, regardless of age or past medical history, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call now, 314-720-8081.
Medicare open enrollment starts October 15th and ends December 7th. Claim the State Health Insurance Assistance Program is your trusted Medicare resource in Missouri. They're not an insurance company and don't sell anything. Counselors help you compare and enroll in plans. Check if you qualify to lower your Medicare costs and more. Call 1-800-390-3330. Claim, assisting Missourians with Medicare since 1993. Funding provided by Missouri Department of Commerce and Insurance through ACL.
Join the internationally acclaimed Ambassadors of Harmony live in concert December 9th through the 11th at the Two Hill Performing Arts Center. See why thousands make this their Christmas tradition. Tickets on sale now at AOH.org. Be enchanted with the Christmas spirit with the Ambassadors of Harmony. 5 shows only December 9th through the 11th. Purchase online at AOH.org.
If you're concerned about the current market and the 40-year record high inflation that we're seeing, you're not alone.
Credit card usage skyrocketing and at record highs, savings rates plunging. It's 100% certainty that you're in recession now.
The good news is, for decades, Steve All and his team have been helping people just like you protect and grow your income. And most importantly, not run out of money.
My clients that are currently sitting there on guaranteed incomes, they're not really worried about what's happening in the market. So they're more at peace because every month that paycheck comes in.
Call Steve today for your customized market protection plan. 636-230-8824. That's 636-230-8824. Or visit yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC. By contacting us, you may be provided with information about insurance products, including annuities. Licensed in Missouri and Illinois.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The legendary voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
This is Tom Ackerman from my family to yours. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and let's have a wonderful 2023.
Happy holidays from KMOX.
This holiday season, give the gift of life. Donate blood at the Odyssey Holiday Heroes Blood Drive Tuesday the 20th through Friday the 23rd at YMCA locations all over the region. Make an appointment at redcross.org.
Becco's new dishwashers use 1/3 the energy and half the water of U.S. standards for dishwashers. And from now until December 31st, you can save up to $200 in gift card rebates on eligible models. Visit Becco.com for more details. That's Becco.com.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
Homicide detectives were called to 55 at Broadway, where a man was shot in the head and killed. Again, the traffic map shows that 55 South is back open after a shooting investigation this morning. A government report shows one measure of inflation eased last month, but is still at a high level.
It's called the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, and it shows consumer prices rose 6% in October from a year earlier, down from 6.3% a month earlier, but still elevated. Federal Reserve closely monitors the index, and the number likely reinforces its intent to keep boosting interest rates as it tries to cool the economy and ease the worst inflation in decades.
We need to raise interest rates to a level that is sufficiently restrictive to return inflation to 2%.
But Fed Chair Jerome Powell told the Brookings Institution yesterday the central bank could slow the hikes when it meets in 2 weeks. Sagar Meghani, Washington.
Some of China's largest cities are easing COVID restrictions while police watch for any new protests. The BBC's China media analyst, Carrie Allen, says the government is acknowledging they are modifying protocols.
What we've heard today from Sun Chunlan, who's the vice premier, is a new phase of controls are coming in. And she said that small progressive refinements in the approach will continue.
Chinese authorities maintain a tight grip on the country's internet via a complex, multi-layered censorship operation that blocks access to almost all foreign news and social media.
Vive l'amitié.
French President Emmanuel Macron at a White House welcoming ceremony with these words, "Long live the friendship between the United States and France." He concluded his remarks with a tribute to the enduring friendship between the two countries. The United States midfielder Christian Pulisic hopes to play against the Netherlands in the round of 16 at the World Cup on Saturday after bruising his pelvic bone while scoring in the 1-0 win over Iran. There are big questions in the Senate as lawmakers consider the House-passed measure to stave off a rail strike. CBS's Scott McFarland's on Capitol Hill.
The president has been clear that the Senate needs to do this. They have to act urgently. But getting the Senate to act urgently is difficult in reality, as no doubt President Biden realizes.
The Cardinals' 11th annual holiday toy drive is underway until 2 p.m. today outside Busch Stadium, Gate 4. Michael Hall, the executive director of Cardinals Care, joined Carol and Megan on Total Information AM to explain what happens to that new unwrapped toy or gift card.
You know, all the toys we kind of distribute or separate, if you will, once we collect them all and distribute them evenly amongst our partner organizations, and then they distribute to the kids that they support.
Those partners include the American Red Cross, Angels Arms, Annie Malone Center, Mary Grove, and Southside Early Childhood Center. The First Mid Bank and Trust business desk are the salad days over at Costco.
Shares of Costco tumbling in trading. Its long pandemic sales boom showing signs of slowing down. Sales climbed 4.6% in November, but that's the smallest gain since April 2020 when COVID restrictions roiled the economy. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Dow from Stifel down 328 points to 34,261. And we've got a stalled vehicle right now on 55 South before Germania. That's on the right shoulder. Also 70 West before Jennings Station and 70 West past Lucas and Hunt in the right lane.
KMOX AccuWeather, it's windy and cold, low to mid-40s with sun and some clouds this afternoon, down to the upper 30s tonight, windy and warmer tomorrow, mid-50s, and then colder again on Saturday, sun and clouds, upper 30s. Not as cold on Sunday, upper 40s with some sun. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Dean DeVore in the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
It is sunny, 36 in Florissant, 36 in St. Peters, and 36 downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
Charging a cell phone can be like getting a booster shot. A booster is given to enhance or restore protection after a primary series vaccination, which wanes over time. Schedule an appointment when you are eligible. Sponsored by Pfizer and BioNTech.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
On the show, Chris Ranji, Amy Mark Scores. Well, earlier this year, back in June, St. Charles County Prosecutor Tim Lomar was caught supposedly driving under the influence. This was back at Lake of the Ozarks on June 30th. It was almost 11 p.m. at night. An officer pulled him over. He attempted to flash a badge. He refused a breathalyzer test, and he refused a field sobriety test. And now we are awaiting the toxicology report to see if the St. Charles County prosecutor was indeed driving under the influence. I think the surprising part of this is that, aside from it being the St. Charles County prosecutor potentially driving under the influence, is that we are still waiting for this toxicology report. And Kevin Killeen, who has been following this story, found out that it could be 8 to 12 months before those test results come back, which seems, Chris, like an awfully long time.
Yes, it does. It seems like it would take very little time to get this done.
Mm-hmm.
My only thinking is maybe there's a backlog or there's something nefarious going on. It's one of the two things, right?
That's right. So joining us now, not necessarily to talk about that case, but just toxicology reports, how we figure out if someone was driving under the influence, how long that takes, is Megan Carter. She's the director of field operations at MAD St. Louis, Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Megan, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Now, I guess my first thought is 8 to 12 months to get the blood test back, to find out what the results of this toxicology report are, seems like an awfully long time. Is this a normal time frame in your mind?
So when you say that it's a surprising long time, we hear this fairly often, but for us as an organization, it's not a surprise to us because this has been something that we share with the community and victim survivors quite often, especially if there's a crash involved, that the toxicology results do take time to get back. So this is not news to us. This is something that is very common for us to know.
So is this something that's been going on for a long time, or is this a post-pandemic thing like a lot of other places have backlogs, or they just don't have enough workers, they don't have enough people to do things, whether it's a restaurant or in a lab somewhere? It's pretty much across the board. Is this new?
It's not new. So I would say pre-pandemic, on average, based on, what was going on, we would say that anywhere between 7 to 8 months was what we expected for toxicology results. So the fact that it's now taking 8 to 12, like with most things, we are thinking that some of this did have to do with the pandemic. So, but yeah, prior to it was typically we would see on average anywhere from 7 to 8.
Now, when you are in the waiting process, then someone has been charged with driving under the influence. They're waiting for this report. 7, 8, 10, 11, 12 months go by. Does that person still have their driver's license? Are they able to drive without any restrictions? Could they not then again have another DUI in the meantime?
Well, there have been instances that we have seen where individuals, while they are awaiting the charges and the toxicology results coming back, that they do indeed get another DWI, not just in the state of Missouri, but in other states as well. So it really is depending on the charges that are at hand. They could be still out driving, which is extremely problematic to say the very least. And I will say, as we await for these results to come back, whether it's a incident where somebody is pulled over for driving while intoxicated or when there are crashes involved. This time waiting causes not only concerns for the individuals, if their families have been impacted, if someone was killed or someone was injured, because, the more time it takes, the more that they're waiting for justice for their loved one and are fearful that this might get swept under the rug. But, based on this most recent case that you were speaking of earlier, the community gets involved and the community is outraged and they're worried that as time ticks on, it's going to be forgotten about and it's not going to be taken seriously.
Yeah, you use the word problematic. I feel like it's at minimum that. So what's the recourse here? What can be done?
So for Mothers Against Drunk Driving, we're always pushing for tough laws. We've got good laws in the state of Missouri and in other states across the nation, but we're really pushing for tougher laws to ensure that these crashes aren't happening. Any opportunity that we as an organization or our partners can get out there and continue to spread our message and prevent these crashes from happening or preventing these arrests from happening, we're doing that. And it's the statistics are showing that since over the past year, impaired driving crashes have gone up, which is completely unacceptable. Each and every one of these crashes, each and every one of these arrests is 100% preventable. There is no reason for anyone to get behind the wheel. So we need the community to come together to take a stand to say we are no longer going to accept this, and also for individuals to take personal responsibility, especially during this time of year. We want everyone to go out. We want them to enjoy the holidays. But if your plans include alcohol, make a plan ahead of time. Make sure you have that non-drinking designated driver because it's not worth it. I know that, we've had individuals talk about how, well, they didn't want to leave their car overnight because their car was this precious commodity. Okay, but what's more important, a car or a life? A car can be replaced, a life cannot. Do not make that choice. Make the plan ahead. And again, if your designated driver, non-drinking designated driver, does end up drinking, have a backup plan. Make sure that whatever you do, don't get behind the wheel if you've been drinking.
And it's so easy now not to drink and drive. It's because you've got the ride shares, you've got Uber, you've got Lyft. And I know there have been PSAs on this station, and I have friends who do the same thing. They take an Uber to the party because if you don't drive there, you can't drive home, you can't drive drunk. I think that is so smart. Going back to just the toxicology reports, I'm not sure how this works or if there could be a plan in place. Are those reports ever expedited based on the casualties or the damages done by the crash?
Not that I am aware of, but I haven't ever seen where they've been expedited based on the crash or anything like that. It's just as far as I know, it's logged in and it goes through the process of when it's all in.
What about to take that a step further? And I'm sure the answer is the same, but I want to check. What about if it's a higher profile thing, like what we had with Lomar here in St. Charles County, or the Kansas City Chiefs' son, football coach's son, Andy Reid's son from last year? What about in cases like that? Do you ever see any of those expedited?
I personally have not. I have seen that, it's just based on the lab that the departments take the results to, that it gets tested. I've never seen where there's been any sort of expedition or special treatment, if you will, on those type of cases.
When you look at how COVID changed the way people commuted to work, how often they went out, the numbers of drunk driving, fatalities, and crashes, what have those looked like over the past few years in Missouri?
So for Missouri and throughout the nation, those crashes have actually gone up, which for us as an organization looking at that data, we were shocked by this, just knowing that everyone was at home and that more people were staying home and everything like that. So for us, we were very shocked to see that crash data has gone up. And we do expect that the 2021 numbers will be coming out very soon. With that being said, again, now more than ever, our organization is asking for our community partners to come together, telling the community to come together to help continue to raise awareness on this, because again, each and every one of these crashes is 100% preventable, and it is unacceptable that these numbers are going up, especially as we talked about before, the options that are out there, especially now with rideshare.
Well, yeah, that's my confusion. If it's so much more available, because St. Louis, for example, was never historically the kind of city that just had cabs everywhere. And if you wanted to get a cab, you had to call, and then you waited like a half hour. And now you can get one in a few minutes. You can get a ride in a few minutes. Why is it worse now when those rides are more available than they ever have been?
That is a really great question that we continue to try to find the answer to. We host on a monthly, on a quarterly basis based on the region, what we call victim impact panels. And what these are is they are programs that are put on by our organization to give individuals the perspective and the view of how one choice can destroy a person, a family's life, a community's, a community build. So with that, we sometimes have conversations with the individuals who attend, which those in attendance are court ordered because they did receive a DWI charge. And for some of them, they just say, I thought I was okay to drive. I thought after a few drinks that I would be okay. And it's, again, after all of these years, not only with our organization, but other safety organizations, that messaging is getting out, that the decision is still being made. So we're still trying to figure that out. We're still, trying to get our message out in the community and remind them again. So anything that we can do to get the message out there and again, remind everyone it's not worth it and that these crashes do not have to happen.
Yeah, it's so important. And again, I know we've all been impacted or know someone impacted by drunk driving. I'm shocked right now as I sit here and I think of the families that I know who have lost children, college-age children, have lost spouses. One in particular, a few years ago, a mom of four, a man was at work and he had a wife and 4 kids. And after a drunk driving crash, he had a little baby, was the only one who survived. And I cannot imagine the devastation that has caused to families to him and families like that across the country. So thank you for the work that you do and continuing to spread the message.
Well, thank you. And we appreciate the opportunity to spread the message. And, when you speak of the individuals and the families who've been impacted, one thing about our organization is we provide direct support services to those who've been impacted. So if there's anybody in the community that has unfortunately been impacted, are looking for help, are looking for resources, or looking for guidance, whether it's in their criminal justice process or in their healing, MADD is here to support you.
Megan, we appreciate your time. And aside from just making better decisions, personal decisions, what can people do to help?
Well, if they're interested in getting involved and helping with, again, spreading the awareness and spreading the message, they can contact our local offices. We have offices throughout the state of Missouri, but we do have one here in St. Louis, and we're always looking for advocates and individuals to help, whether it's with our impaired driving programs, or we also do a lot of work, as mentioned, with supporting victim survivors. If there's anybody out there that could be a resource to those we serve and those future victims that unfortunately we will be working with, we're always looking for all members of the community to be able to, work with us and help support us in our mission to end this 100% preventable crime.
Megan, we appreciate your time today. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Very much appreciated.
Megan Carter, Director of Field Operations for Mothers Against Drunk Driving here in St. Louis. When we come back, Amy and I will discuss something that is frightening to us. Amazingly, we have found something else that scares us.
Yes. And I think this would be frightening to a lot of people. It's worse than mildew.
I think it's way worse than that.
Yeah.
We'll tell you what it is on the show.
2 ways to listen to KMOX in your car. 98.7 in the city, 1120 a.m. further out. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
This holiday season, Diamonds Direct gives you the gift of 0% interest financing for 3 years on any purchase. With high prices and high interest rates everywhere else, Diamonds Direct is here with the incredible shopping experience you need. Our guaranteed best value prices will save you money. And with 0% interest, you can spread your payments over 3 years with no finance charge, period. And for this holiday season, we're showcasing an expanded selection of affordable and timeless holiday gifts. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, colored gemstones. And if you're upgrading her diamond or getting engaged over the holidays, we have one of the largest diamond selections in America. All sizes and shapes, all cut for maximum brilliance, and all offered at our amazing direct importer, no middleman prices. Check out our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Buy now or come into the showroom. Let one of our experts guide you in finding the holiday gift that's at the top of their list. And enjoy 3 years, 0 interest financing on any holiday purchase. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Whether you're looking to fill low spots in your lawn, backfill that new retaining wall, or mulch your trees and flower beds, St. Louis Composting has the compost, soil, or mulch you need to help your plants and garden look its very best. Visit our website, stlcompost.com, for more information.
The holidays are here, but for some families, they'll spend that time at SSM Health Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. I'm Carol Daniel. KMOX, along with all of our sister stations at our company, Odyssey STL, are again proud to partner with you and other generous St. Louisans in our community to raise funds for the Tree of Hope campaign for Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. It's so easy to give. Just text the word HOPE to 20357 or KMOX.com/Cardinal Glennon.
This season, give the gift of Cardinals ticket packs. 5, 6, and 10 game packs are on sale now and feature 2023's highest demand games and promotional giveaways. Choose from the opening day pack, the t-shirt pack, bobblehead pack, and more. New for 2023, check out the swag pack. Give the gift that lasts all season, all baseball season. Cardinals ticket packs start at just $54 and are on sale now at cardinals.com/holiday.
Join the team in 23 with season tickets and secure the best seats at Busch Stadium. There's a plan for every fan. Choose from full, half, or the popular 27 game plans. Season ticket holders receive their own dedicated Cardinals representative. Plus, receive access to postseason tickets, opening day, a membership to the Cardinals Hall of Fame and Museum. For information, visit cardinals.com/season or call the Cardinals today, 314-345-9000.
Hello, my name is Chad with ClaymanGroup.com. I have another happy client of ours that just sold their house as is.
Hey, my name is Tish. I called a real estate agent first. They told me I had to do like 75 things just to prepare my house for sale. I called the Clayman Group and spoke with Chad and his team, and they bought my house when I had to do anything at all.
If you want a simple solution to your real estate needs as well, reach out today. Clayman, KLAMEN Group.com. KLAMEN Group.com.
The voice of St. Louis. News that matters to you. KMOX.
Ranj, I have bad news. It's worse than mildew. It's worse than gum disease.
Oh,
And it's probably right up there with going to prison for a crime you didn't commit.
I know what it is.
What?
Artificial intelligence, robots who can kill you.
Okay. You know what?
What?
You're no fun.
Why?
Because it is. It's
Oh.
San Francisco.
This isn't good.
No. San Francisco, they're considering allowing the use of, quote, deadly robots by police. So these robots have the power of deadly force that would be used in extreme circumstances. And you're thinking, okay, what does that mean? So the police in San Francisco are considering, and San Francisco is considering, I should say, allowing the police to use these robots to deploy lethal force. This would be a policy advanced by the city supervisors. This was advanced on Tuesday. And now San Francisco's part of a national debate about weaponized robots in American cities. So in Dallas in 2016, the police department ended a standoff with a gunman suspected of killing 5 officers by blowing him up with a bomb attached to a robot. This is according to the New York Times, in what was believed to be the first lethal use of a robot technology by American law enforcement agency. So that was in 2016. And they're saying in situations like this, a terrorist who is threatening the lives of civilians or a mass shooter, they can send in these robots with lethal force.
Okay. Well, I understand not wanting to put an officer in jeopardy. And if you can do something about that, if you have an active shooter situation, if you have, I don't know, like something like what we're talking about here, anything that's volatile that you really don't want to send people in.
Yeah.
If you don't have to, this would be a very good thing. I guess my concern would be how this could potentially be abused or the kinds of mistakes that can happen. Now, again, this isn't artificial intelligence. This isn't the Terminator. It just feels like a step toward that.
Yeah, I feel like it could be abused. And again, when you're looking at extreme circumstances, just because of the nature of how the world works, that's subjective.
Right.
Extreme is always subjective. That's what makes law enforcement so hard is you have humans making decisions in a split second. Decisions that could affect their lives, the lives of surrounding people, the suspects, the victims, whatever it may be. It's such a tense scenario when you have law enforcement dealing with extraordinarily dangerous circumstances. David Lazar, he's the assistant chief of the San Francisco Police Department. The example he gave as to why robots with lethal force should or could be helpful, he brought up the Las Vegas high-rise shooter that happened in 2017 when the mass shooter killed 60 people in Las Vegas at a concert. Chief Lazar said, quote, "He's shooting, people are pinned down, the police are pinned down. We would then think to ourselves, okay, this is a possible option." I'm not exactly sure how the robot, would get to the hotel room.
It wouldn't get there quick enough. It would have done nothing there.
Right. And that's why I'm a little confused about that being
That's a poor example.
the example that he used. So I just feel like a robot with the ability to deliver deadly force, the margin for error is wide enough that it just might outweigh the benefits of having a robot that can use deadly force.
Well, I don't see this a whole lot differently than I see us using drones. And we aren't the only country that uses them. Obviously, a lot of them around the world do. But to use drones that have weaponry on them, it's the exact same thing. You're sending this aircraft that is unmanned, so there's no threat of losing a pilot, which is, that is a good thing. But I wonder how this can be abused or how it could be used to an extent where people get killed when the situation could have been resolved without anybody dying.
So Paul Scharr, I think that's how you say it. He's the vice president and director of studies at the Center for New American Security. He has written a book, Army of None, Autonomous Weapons and the Future of War. And he said that you could basically, these robots put a distance between the police officers and the danger. And because a police officer, a human life, is no longer at risk because of the distance put between them, the robot wouldn't have to use lethal force. You could use non-lethal options like tear gas or flashbangs to incapacitate someone. My question is, let's say you're committing a crime or you're holding someone hostage and this robot comes in. I don't know, or there's a homicide situation or a domestic and they decide to send in the robot. And if you harm the robot, dismantle the robot, is that now a crime?
Well, yeah. Because I don't know what they would call it, but you're tampering with equipment.
I guess.
Right?
Yes.
Well, I'm not even worried about that. Who
But what if, again, assuming you're guilty, versus having a police officer come in and assess the situation. I don't know. I'm probably simplifying it too much, but it just seems like in reality, the application of this there could be errors.
Well, it would have to be clearly defined what extreme situation means. And you know what? I can probably live with something like this because the goal is to save lives. And that includes the officers who have to be on scene, and nobody would ever argue against the robots that are sent into situations where a building has been cleared, but there's a bomb in that building. Nobody has a problem with that because nobody at all is in jeopardy. There aren't victims who are there. There aren't, even perpetrators aren't usually still there on the scene when a bomb is there. So I have no problem with that, and I don't think anybody else does. I would just be concerned about what happens next and how it is actually used.
Yeah.
But the goal in most of these situations is to keep people from dying, right?
I think the concept is just scary.
It is. As long as the robots aren't making decisions for themselves, I'm good. Because that does frighten me.
Yeah.
It's Amy Marks Kors and Chris Ranji on the show.
Spend your afternoon with Dave Glover.
I had COVID. It sucked, but it was a few days. I definitely don't have long COVID. What I do have, though, I have COVID time displacement. Parts of time seem weird to me.
What does it feel like it should be to you?
It feels like it should be about 2014, 2015. And I'm telling everyone over waffles, like, no, listen to me. Listen, Donald Trump was president. They're like, shut up, Dad. What? I'm just like, no.
The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays now beginning at 1 on KMOX.
KMOX News Time is 11:29. Donate a car, get a tax receipt, and tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium at mersgoodwill.org.
Dr. Travis Stork here to tell you about a great pain reliever called Salonpas Pain Relieving Patches. Salonpas is pain medicine in a patch. You stick it right on sore muscles for up to 8 hours. Clinical research has shown that people that used Salonpas reported less pain with improvement in mood, sleep, and the ability to work. Safe, effective relief is one peel and place away. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
This low-acid food series is brought to you by Prilosec OTC.
I'm Carla Hall. You might not realize it, but specific foods can trigger heartburn, such as spicy, fatty, or fried foods. Same with citrus, chocolate, and beverages like alcohol, coffee, or carbonated ones. I know we all love these foods and flavors, but just remember to eat and drink them in moderation.
Prilosec OTC prevents excess acid that can cause heartburn. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 heartburn. Use as directed.
At 11:30, it's sunny and 37 degrees downtown at the Arch. Baseball Hall of Famer and two-time Cy Young Award winner Gaylord Perry has died at the age of 84. Perry won the Cy Young with Cleveland in 1972 and with San Diego in 1978, just after turning 40. The number of people applying for jobless claims fell to 225,000. The week prior, it was 241,000. Mark Hamrick, senior economic analyst with Bankrate.com, says Fed officials are carefully watching the job data.
Chairman Jerome Powell is now saying the central bank may want to begin moderating, as he put it, the pace of future rate increases. The Fed's next announcement on rates is a couple of weeks away. It's seen raising the benchmark rate now by 0.5% after 4 consecutive boosts of 0.75%.
Many families travel long distances to St. Louis to get their children medical care. Dan Harbaugh, president of Ronald McDonald House Charities, says often they haven't considered where they will stay or how they'll afford it.
Right now, we have 39 bedrooms in the city of St. Louis, and almost every single night, all of those bedrooms are occupied, and we have a waiting list of 20 to 25 families every night.
Harbaugh says the brand new Ronald McDonald House under construction at Choteau and Tower Grove will have 72 bedrooms and lots of community space for families to gather. He says it costs them about $94 per night to house a family, but they only charge them $5. We've got a stall on 55 South before Germania on the right shoulder. Also 70 West before Jennings Station. Watch out there. And the forecast for this afternoon, sun and some clouds with a high of 44 degrees. Mostly cloudy overnight, the low 37. A mix of clouds and sun tomorrow with a high of 56. It's sunny and 37 at the moment downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Business is difficult right now, putting a lot of good workers at risk. If you're a business that needs flexibility with your workforce and don't want to lose your best employees, go to sharedwork.mo.gov and see what the Missouri Department of Labor can do for you.
Well, I saw Dr. Birdie not too long ago to have my annual eye exam. And did you know that your annual eye exam is covered by most insurances, and it can be a really good window into your overall health? Your eyes can manifest if there are other issues going on with your body. And so consider your annual eye exam part of your overall well-being. And Dr. Birdie, well, of course, he's at the Ophthalmology Associates, the doctors. At the Ophthalmology Associates, Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, and Royer, well, they have treated more than 250 doctors. That's more than any other practice. And you know how if you know someone, you know a guy, it's good to have a friend, you know the best doctor to go to. That's what you have with the Ophthalmology Associates. That's why other doctors see the doctors, and it's why you should too. I talked about the issues I was having with my eye, dry eyes. Well, that could be allergies. It could be something else. It could be what it was with me, CVS, computer vision syndrome. We're all staring at our computers, our phones, our screens. We don't blink as often. We can't produce tears. Our eyes dry up. Dr. Birdie helped me figure out how to work on that, whether it was eye drops or just being more mindful to blink. Even fish oil can help keep your eyes lubricated. And so going to Dr. Birdie helps me keep my eyes healthy and keeps my quality of life high. Give them a call at 314-966-5000, 314-966-5000, youridoc.com.
Driven by the Bommarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Merry Christmas.
Wow, another popcorn tin. Gee, thanks.
Not this year. This time I went to Pop Pop Hooray.
You mean the place with over 50 flavors of popcorn?
Yep, and I filled your bucket with 3 flavors I knew you'd love.
Only 3?
I also got you this gift card so you can try as many flavors as you want.
Oh my God, I love it. This is the best gift ever.
Pop Pop Hooray, with locations in Ferguson and new location in St. Charles in the Bass Pro Shop Plaza or online at poppophooray.com. More flavor, more fun, endless possibility.
Your home of the Cardinals.
Arenado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of here.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win!
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City!
We are America's sports voice, KMOX.
Coming up at 1 o'clock on KMOX, the Dave Glover Show with Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji, and Kevin Wheeler, and Andrew Stoles, and Rachel Zimmerman. Everybody's here.
And Dave Glover.
Well, I mean, it's the Dave Glover Show. It's implied.
Well, you've got to be clear. You can't just imply things.
Oh, that doesn't make sense. If his name is on the show,
Yeah,
wouldn't
but
you assume
sometimes
he's there?
Out. He could be out.
I guess it is. Like Bram Stoker's Dracula. I didn't see any Bram Stoker in that movie.
Hmm.
Is that what you're talking
I
about?
don't even know who Bram Stoker is.
He was an author, right? He was an author. He wrote
Okay.
the whole Dracula thing.
Okay, Bram.
Did that make no sense?
Yeah, that was.
Eh.
Yeah.
Hey, we need your feedback on this, not on my stupid comment just now, but on what we're about to get into here. 314-436-7900. That's 314-436-7900. Text,
Yes.
call, do whatever with that. If you want to leave us a voicemail, 314-944-1120. So I was reading a story in Vox this morning, and it was about people being generally rude to customer service types. So to
Yeah.
anybody in a service industry, whether it's you go to the store and it's a clothing store and the person working the register, or a grocery store, or a restaurant, or a bar, or a Jiffy Lube, whatever it is, you go to any of these places, people tend to be rude sometimes.
Yeah, because people are the worst, Ronj. Is that why?
That's right, because
Yeah.
people are the worst.
Yeah.
So back in August, there was a chef in Wisconsin, in Madison, Wisconsin. His name's Tori Miller, and he posted on his Facebook page this. It says, like, how hard is it to be nice? The entire world is short-staffed, and you yelling about your table not being ready the moment you arrive is not making that any different. And I was thinking about this because I have experience working in a restaurant. You have worked in service. You
Yep.
worked at a running store.
A running store. Yeah, I worked retail for 5 years, and it wasn't just, like I said, regular retail. You're working with the customers. We would sit on the floor and take their shoes and socks off and fit them with shoes, measure their feet. Yeah, it was involved.
And I worked at a restaurant where you had to touch people's feet.
Oh
Ooh.
my gosh. I don't know how I did. I couldn't go back to that.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. So I commend anybody working in a shoe store. Good for you.
Thank you.
But I used to work in a restaurant, as we've talked about before, and it was one of those kinds of places where you could be rude to guests, you could be rude to the customers, and it was like a big joke, and it was funny, and that's just how the place was. But you were supposed to still act like a server.
Yeah.
You were supposed to still get things for people when they asked for it, especially if you could tell that the folks coming in weren't into the joke. They weren't into, let's have a good time and you can make fun of me and be mean to me or whatever. Some people came in and they just wanted to eat. and we were supposed to treat them like
Mm-hmm.
a typical restaurant customer.
Wait,
And some
did you have to be over 21 to go? Or
not to go in, no.
Okay.
No. To drink, obviously, but not to go in. We had a lot of kids that would come in. And people would still be in that place. It always astounded me because I would assume that people knew what they were getting into coming in there. But people would still be really, really rude. And I had a table one time who they were upset that I didn't bring bread to them because if you had ordered the rule was if you ordered dinner, you were supposed to get this stupid loaf of crappy bread and coleslaw. And it would come to the table first and you could snack on it or whatever. What I usually did was I would ask people if they wanted it because a lot of times you'd bring it to the table and nobody would touch it.
Yeah.
So instead of wasting it, I just didn't even bring it. And I forgot to ask this table. They stayed, they did the whole thing, they ate, seemed to have a pretty good time. There were about 8 of them. And when it was over, and one thing I did as a server, I was a lousy server, but the one thing I did was I would constantly go back and ask if there was anything they needed. And I did that multiple times. When it was all over and it was time for the check, one lady at the table, probably in her 40s, I assume her name was
Karen.
And I said to Karen, is there anything I can get for you? And I put the check down and she said, I would like to speak to a manager. And I said, okay, can I ask you what this is about? And she said, you didn't bring us bread and coleslaw at the beginning of dinner. And I said, well, I asked you multiple times if you needed anything and you did not say you needed anything. So we got into a little back and forth. And again, this restaurant was a little different. And I absolutely told her that she needed to go blank herself, pay the bill and get out. I don't expect a tip. And everybody looked at me like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. And I went to my manager and I said, I just told table 115 to go blank themselves. Can you go talk to them? And his name was Mike. And he said, oh, all right. So he went over there. The point is, you need to be nice to people, especially now. Holidays.
I told her to go blank
Well,
herself.
she deserved
so
it.
anyway, be nice to people.
Had it coming.
You are such a booger. You can't.
What do you mean?
Okay, listen, I get it. She shouldn't have been
It was
so
Dick's
upset
last
about
resort. You're supposed to tell people mean things.
You shouldn't. Yeah, she shouldn't have been so mad at you,
Right.
for not bringing the bread, because it is the burden of the offended to make the offense known. If you don't make the offense known, how is anybody going to fix anything?
That's correct.
Especially if that person doesn't know that they're doing something wrong.
Thank you.
So she was wrong. It's funny though that you had the follow up of I told her to go blank herself
That's right.
because we need to be nice to people.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I was not wrong in this instance. I have been wrong before. That was not one of those times. And the point is, it is the holiday season.
Yes.
And people tend to be crankier for some reason around now. There are more shoppers out. There are more people out and about, more people going to restaurants because they're out and about doing shopping. And they say, let's stop and get dinner while we're out. Just be nice to the people working, especially at the holiday season in 2022. And the reason it is different is because there are still short-staffed places everywhere, whether it is a fast food place or a regular restaurant or a store in the mall or a mom and pop shop somewhere else. Maybe it's just mom and or pop working and it gets busy in there. Be nice to people because they have no control over how slow customer service goes, because they just don't have enough people.
Okay, I agree. 314-436-7900. If you want to text us or call in with your retail service industry stories of people being awful. But Ranj, I would like to go back to when you said, I've been wrong before. Can you tell me a story about when you were wrong in the service industry? If that was when you were right, when you told a customer to go blank herself, when were you wrong?
Honestly, I'm sure it happened. I just can't remember one off the top of my head.
Here's another
I'm
thing.
sure it happened.
I'm amazed not only that people who are outwardly rude, right, speaking poorly to the worker. I had a guy walk into the store one time and go like snap and like, excuse me, and just like snap until I turned around. Snapping's very condescending, but there's also just people being inconsiderate. I don't know if you've ever gone to a Massage Envy or Massage Luxe or something like that, gotten a massage. And one thing that I do is like the last thing I do before I go is I get cleaned up. I would like to be clean.
Hey, it should be
and
clean.
people go immediately after the gym or working out or playing a sport. So they're all gross. I can't imagine being that inconsiderate. Definitely at the shoe store, because we would fit people for inserts in their shoes.
Oh.
And we would have high school boys come in to the store after soccer practice. Like they're
Ew.
still sweating. And I just stick my hand in their sweaty shoe
Ew.
and change out the insert.
Oh,
Ah.
that's disgusting.
I know. And adults would do this too. How? Oh, here's another thing a woman did. We were talking about the flu. They came in. It was like 11 o'clock on a Tuesday. And I'm sitting there. The mom and the daughter are on the bench. And I'm sitting on the floor, changing her daughter's shoes, fitting her for new shoes. And she's like, yeah, we normally can't get in because she's in school, but she's not in school today because she was throwing up all night because she has the flu.
Oh, what?
Right? Why would you bring her not only to the store because she's got the flu, but to a store where now I am sitting directly under her flu germy breath?
Oh, come on, lady.
Right?
That's ridiculous.
It's unbelievable.
People just don't have any respect for others.
So I told her to go blank herself.
Oh, good for you.
I didn't say that.
Oh, Amy, you missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
A text message from a 636. Historically, a lot of customer service people were very unservice. Oh, the text jumped on me. I'm sorry. We have a really weird text system. Where are we at? Oh, historically, a lot of customer service people were very unservice oriented. However, rudeness is just never right. One of the main flaws of our society is lack of manners. No, they did not deserve that, Chris.
This person has been mean to a service industry person.
Yes, they have.
If your first thought is a lot of service people aren't very service oriented.
We started this by talking about the Vox story that I was reading earlier today, and they made a very good point, and this is it. And that text kind of addresses what I'm talking about, is that part of the problem is corporate America has given us as consumers that mindset that we want something cheap, we want it fast, do it for us right now and give us everything we want, because that's what corporate America has trained us to be like in our entire lifetimes.
Well,
think about all the things that like just the advertising, just simple advertising. Like, get it however you want. A fast food restaurant, your way fast. You can have whatever you want and it's going to be perfect. And if it isn't perfect, well, the customer is always right. That is the way that we have trained people to behave. So sometimes,
yeah.
no, Amy,
Well, here's
people
my
have
pushback.
unreasonable expectations when they go
But-
and ask for service.
My pushback, and maybe it's semantics, is the way it's framed, because it's like saying the companies are too good. They're too good at creating products that we like and giving us those products too quickly. And so that's unfair because they've trained us, rather than we're a bunch of entitled, spoiled brats living in a very overall wealthy society. And we worship convenience. We worship instant gratification.
Because
and we
the
worship
companies-
comfort.
The companies
It's
tell us that
human
we deserve
nature,
it.
But they haven't trained us.
That's exactly what that
they
means.
identified our selfish little human nature that wants things. It's just like saying there's so much food in America, that's why we're obese. Well, it could be, or people could say, hey, there are times when I could make better eating choices. And again, I'm not using a broad brushstroke. Obesity affects everybody differently. But for the person who is that person, it's like, I could make better decisions. I could, maybe try to eat some greens occasionally. That's not corporate America's fault. If they have that ability
Yes, it is.
to make good decisions.
Yes, it is. And I'll tell
It's
you,
human nature.
No, people do what is given to them, what they're exposed to, and what they are used to. When we talk about food deserts, for example, and how there aren't grocery stores in some areas, so what do those people eat? What do people who live in areas where they are underserved by grocery stores? They go to a convenience store, they go to a gas station, and that's the food
that's
they
different
get
than
sometimes.
what I'm talking about.
It isn't, because they are that's what they are exposed to, and that's what they're used to. So that's what their lifestyle is.
But that is an example of someone choosing that lifestyle because of a scarcity of food and convenience and product. It's a scarcity. What we're talking about with the corporate America training us to convenience and comfort and a perfect experience, that's an abundance. That's why there's two different things. I'm not criticizing anybody who makes choices because of scarcity. What I'm looking at is the people, the entitled, you mentioned the Karen who is not making that decision because of a scarcity, and that's the only thing she can do. It's out of an abundance and affluence, and I don't think we can blame corporate America making life easier and more convenient than ever and saying, you've made it too good, and now we're spoiled, and it's your fault.
How can you not? How do you reach that conclusion? That makes no sense because
fault.
It's not our fault. All those things are around us.
So
people naturally do and consume things that are easy for them to consume. Like we see commercials every day. We see these restaurants and these stores. We can go 2 minutes and we're at a store that we can go 2 minutes to a Walmart that has everything, and everything costs $4.
But you see the difference between
and that's why you have an unreasonable expectation about what you should get and how cheap it should be and how quickly you should get it.
That's abundance, though, not scarcity. There's a difference.
Yeah, of course there is, but you're
314-436-7900.
You're so out of your mind.
You're so wrong on this.
No, I'm not. You are. That's the name of the show. I'm not wrong. You are. 314-436-7900. You're listening to the show.
All right. Well, if you are a business and you have 5 or more employees and you have noticed that it's been a little rough because of inflation and restrictions and shutdowns and supply chain issues, here's what you'll need to do. Go to getrefunds.com. Getrefunds.com. You could be eligible to receive a payroll tax rebate of up to $26,000 per employee. It's not a loan. There's no payback. It is, like the name implies, a refund of your taxes. Now, the team of tax attorneys that they've put together are highly trained in this little-known payroll tax refund program and have already returned $1 billion to businesses, and they can help you too. There's no charge up front. What they do is they share a percentage of the cash that they get for you. And speaking of cash, businesses of all types can qualify. So even if your company took PPP, even if you're a nonprofit, even if you saw an increase in sales, you could still be eligible for this tax refund. To find out if your business qualifies, just go to getrefunds.com, click on Qualify Me, and answer a few questions. Getrefunds.com.
If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomes.louis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com or call 314-328-8000. If you own a house in St. Louis and you want to sell it as is, without any inspections or the need to make any repairs, call Chris Buys Homes St. Louis at 314-328-8000 or at chrisbuyshomeStLouis.com and get your cash offer without any obligations, commissions, banks, or headaches. Chris buys vacant houses, inherited houses, fixer-uppers, beautiful houses, even the tenant won't pay the rent apartment. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis, and check out the best reviews from satisfied customers. When you sell to Chris, you decide when you want to move, according to your schedule and your terms. Go to chrisbuyshomesinstlouis.com. Google Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis or call 314-328-8000. That's 314-328-8000. Call Chris and get the offer you've been waiting for. Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com. That's Chris Buys Homes in St. Louis.com or call 314-328-8000.
The Dave Glover Show is excited to partner with Hardee's and Operation Food Search for the Holiday Food Drive. While supplies last, stop into any metro area Hardee's and make a donation of at least $1 to benefit Operation Food Search and receive a limited edition DGS Holiday Bumper Sticker. All donations will benefit Operation Food Search to help children and families facing food insecurities. Get all the details about the campaign, or if you want to make an online donation, head to the KMOX.com events page now.
Are you concerned about higher taxes, soaring inflation, and what's next for the stock market? Don't miss Your Retirement Professors this Saturday afternoon at 1 on St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
Cardinals fans, turn a double play at the official Cardinals team store and Cardinals Authentics shop. Find the latest in Cardinals apparel, something for the home or office, and more at the official Cardinals team store. Then check out the Cardinals Authentics shop at Ballpark Village with unique game used, autographed, and collectible memorabilia. Both are located at Busch Stadium and open daily from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. The Cardinals team store and Authentics shop. Now that's a winner.
Now your Bite This Network traffic report. It looks like every vehicle in the country is currently headed to Hardee's for a saucy A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99. You heard that right. Every single car, truck, and annoying electric scooter thing all heading to Hardee's. But don't take a detour. Hit the brakes on your hunger with a Charbroil Double Deal. Bite into the new A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99, only at Hardee's. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price may vary. A1 is a registered trademark of Kraft Foods used with permission.
It's back again this year.
Dinner's ready. No, please.
Rearing its ugly head.
Hey, what's for dinner, Mom? I just can't.
It's shaking you to your core. You're using the leftover turkey again tonight? Languishing leftover turkey disorder is here.
Don't make me do it. Help me.
But there's only one hero that can save the day.
Bingo!
Brewpub Lots of Matzo Pizzas. It's dinner tonight.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicide, mental health, or substance use crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There's hope. The Lifeline works. 988 for 24/7 confidential support. A message from the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
This holiday season, give the gift of life. Donate blood at the Odyssey Holiday Heroes Blood Drive Tuesday the 20th through Friday the 23rd at YMCA locations all over the region. Make an appointment at redcross.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Amy Marks Course.
This is my show, my microphone.
On the show.
A lot of text messages. What happened there? A lot of text messages coming in about our last conversation.
Are they saying that I'm right?
No, most of them are just absolutely saying you are not right.
What?
Well, talking about people and the way they behave in a service setting. So whether it's a restaurant or a...
And then it morphed into Ranji's hatred for capitalism.
I did not say I hated capitalism at all. I said corporate America, and this is just absolutely true, has trained us to expect things quick and cheap.
Okay, comrade. What do the texts
Tell me
say?
I'm wrong about that.
You're wrong about
okay,
that.
but then say I'm wrong, but then don't be wrong yourself, and you can't do it. Texter here says it costs a lot more to eat healthy. Definitely corporate America's fault.
No, there's food deserts.
What?
What?
He's saying that it's difficult and
Yeah.
more expensive to go to Whole Foods, for example, than it is to go to a convenience store and
It
get
is,
something cheap.
But I was talking about abundance versus scarcity.
Yeah, you're still wrong about that, too. You know, we'll continue this conversation.
Yeah, we need to.
314-436-7900. We'll tell you what's happened on the show so far, other than Amy being wrong.
Whatever.
Hi, Maria Aquino from the KMOX Newsroom, wishing and hoping that your holidays bring you happiness and health. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Happy holidays from KMOX.
So delicious in every bite. Dad's cookies, they taste so right.
Dad's cookies go mighty fast this time of year, so stock up next time you're shopping. And for an easy and unique gift for out-of-town family and friends, give them the sweet taste of a St. Louis tradition. by ordering at dadscookies.com.
The taste made just for you.
And in stores everywhere.
Dad's Cookies.
dadscookies.com.
The St. Louis Blues official retailer, STL Authentics, is your go-to source for authentic team jerseys and exclusive gear you won't find at big box stores or other e-retailers. Reverse retro gear will be a hot holiday gift this season, so be sure to get some merch for the Blues fan in your life before it sells out. Or give them the gift of choice with an STL Authentics gift card. Get your holiday shopping done now at the Team Store at Enterprise Center or STLAuthentics.com.
KMOX, KECK HD2, K254CR, St. Louis.
The home of the Cardinals, KMOX. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Recent impacts with inflation, ongoing COVID concerns, and geopolitical conflict have us all and the markets on edge. Heisey Advisory Group understands the importance of having a customized strategy for retirement, especially during uncertain times, to help ensure these concerns don't have an impact on your retirement. Heisey Advisory Group is a St. Louis-based, family-owned and operated holistic retirement planning firm. Our team has defined a process that puts together all the pieces of the financial puzzle, working with all of your service providers to help develop an individualized plan that grows with you as your life changes and your needs evolve. If you're not confident that your retirement plan is on track to deliver the lifestyle you want amid historic levels of uncertainty, call us today at 314-328-4400. That's 314-328-4400.
Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Firm provides insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through A Wealth Management, LLC.
Hi, Kent Newbold for Newbold BMW. Your BMW is worth more than ever before, so don't trust your maintenance to a bunch of amateurs. Come see the factory-trained technicians at Newbold BMW in O'Fallon, Illinois, or at newboldbmw.com. You'll be sold on Newbold.
If you or someone you know is experiencing a suicide, mental health, or substance use crisis, call, text, or chat 988. There's hope. The Lifeline works. 988 for 24/7 confidential support. A message from the Missouri Department of Mental Health.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 12 o'clock, it's a sunny sky and 38 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun. The news is sponsored by Michael's Flooring Outlet, the flooring experts, michaelsflooringoutlet.com. Our top story this hour, President Biden is hosting the president of France for a state visit at the White House.
After reviewing the troops arrayed on the South Lawn, President Biden welcomed his guest by noting France is America's oldest ally.
The wellspring of our strength is a shared commitment to liberty and justice for all. Liberté, égalité, fraternité.
Emmanuel Macron said Russia's war on Ukraine compels cooperation between two countries he called sisters in the fight for freedom.
We need to become brothers in arms once more.
Stephen Portnoy, CBS News, Washington.
More Chinese cities have eased off some antivirus restrictions as police patrol the streets to head off protests.
Many major cities, including Chengdu in the southwest, announced they were easing testing requirements and controls on movement. In some areas, markets and bus services reopened. The announcements did not mention the recent protests in Shanghai, Beijing, and at least 6 other cities. The protests erupted in response to tough antivirus restrictions, which saw millions throughout China confined to their homes. The recent loosening of restrictions is a sign President Xi Jinping's government was trying to subdue public anger after there were some calls by protesters for Xi to resign. I'm Karen Chamas.
Keeping goods moving on the rails.
Now it's up to the Senate to avert a rail strike. The House has passed legislation that would impose a labor agreement hammered out by the White House. 4 of 12 unions have rejected the deal. The Senate could vote on the legislation this week. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
The world's largest active volcano continues to blast lava hundreds of feet into the air on Hawaii's Big Island. Ken Horn, in charge of the Hawaii Volcano Observatory, says Mauna Loa volcano is moving closer to civilization.
It's very high probability that this lava flow, if it continues, will definitely reach the road.
Cardinals Care is working to help kids in the region have a happier holiday, collecting toys in their annual toy drive. Those who donate will receive a cup of hot chocolate and a collectible mug. Executive Director Michael Hall says they're seeing a lot of familiar faces.
A lot of people that have pulled up are repeat fans or repeat donators from years past, and there quite a few people were like, "Hey, we love to do this. We love to get this hot chocolate and this mug each year." So I think fans like it.
The Cardinals' holiday toy drive runs until 2 p.m. today outside of Gate 4 at Busch Stadium. The First Mid Bank and Trust Business Desk, a measure of inflation that is closely monitored by the Federal Reserve, eased in October but still remains high. The Commerce Department showed that prices rose 6% in October from a year earlier. That was the smallest increase since November. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
This report underscores what Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell noted yesterday, and that is that inflationary pressures are moderating. They're not down. They're not to the level where the Fed wants to see them, but it is likely that this report, along with tomorrow's employment report, could be enough ammunition for the Fed to slow down their rate increases at the next meeting on December 13th and 14th.
The Dow from Stifel is down 206 points to 34,383. And we've got a stall, 6440 going east at McKnight on the right shoulder. A vehicle fire, 6440 east before 270 in the right lane. And a stall, 270 south before Manchester Road on the right shoulder.
A cold and windy afternoon, sun and some clouds. We'll get up to 44. We'll be in the upper 30s tonight. And then the wind turns things milder tomorrow, the mid-upper 50s with clouds, some sun. Maybe a shower tomorrow night. Saturday's colder again, back in the upper 30s, and then less chilly on Sunday, upper 40s with some sun. I'm Mackie with the meteorologist, Steve DeVore, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning. It's partly cloudy and 38 in Florissant and St. Peter's and downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Call Jerry Kelly at 8 a.m. or 8 p.m. and we'll get there fast. There's a reason Jerry Kelly has been your neighbor's favorite heating and cooling company for nearly 2 decades.
JerryKelly.com. They're fast and they're good and they got it going on. JerryKelly.com.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444.
Final hour of this show, the show, until the Dave Glover show starts at 1 o'clock. And at that time, it's all of us. We all in the same room together for an hour.
Radio chaos.
It has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So Dave and Kevin and Rachel and Andrew and Amy and me from 1 to 2 every day. And then the Glover show takes over 2 to 5. Total information PM is after 5 o'clock. Okay. There's been a lot going on. We talked to Major Garrett, the CBS chief Washington correspondent, as we do every Thursday on the show, talking about the rail strike, which is going to be avoided. And what else did we talk to him about? The January 6th stuff. There's going to be a report coming out. We know that Congress is going to change quite a bit.
The lame duck session for a while until the House changes hands. And of course, some things have gotten done, like the Respect for Marriage Act was passed by the Senate, most likely will be passed by the House next week, and to help codify same-sex marriage rights. And yeah, there will be the bigger issues, like immigration is a big issue. Nothing will get done with that. There is not the support. There's not enough bipartisan support on any policies regarding issues like that. December 16th is when the government will shut down if there's not a budget, but that is not expected to be a problem.
Following the story that occurred over the summer with St. Louis County Prosecutor Tim Lomar.
St. Charles,
St. Charles. Did I say St. Louis County?
I think so. That's what I heard.
St. Charles County Prosecutor Tim Lomar, who was arrested on suspicion of DUI, and the toxicology report is being done, and we still don't know the results of it. And we were told it would take 8 to 12 months, which sounded ridiculous. We spoke to Megan Carter, the director of field operations for Mothers Against Drunk Driving St. Louis. And she says, actually, that's not ridiculous because it does take that long now.
8 to 12 months for a toxicology report. And think of all that can happen in 8 to 12 months. I mean, one, with something like this, when you have a high profile case, well, it can get forgotten. It can be swept under the rug. The public outcry will die down. We have a short attention span as a society anyway. I don't think anyone is hanging on for 12 months to hear about the toxicology report of the St. Charles prosecuting attorney. And it's a big deal. So Kevin Killeen, the newsroom, they've been working on this story. That's when they found out about the 8 to 12 months, which is just absolutely shocking to me. This DUI incident happened on June 30th of this summer at a kind of a remote part of the Lake of the Ozarks. So still some time left on that. Also, with all the holiday parties, don't drive drunk. It's so easy not to drive drunk because you don't even have to pick a designated driver anymore if you take an Uber or a Lyft to wherever you're going. It's so easy not to get behind the wheel.
And sometimes, depending on the hour, depending on the night, usually it's the busiest of nights like Halloween and New Year's Eve. Those are difficult to get rides at certain times. If you wait till like 1 o'clock in the morning to get a ride, you might have some difficulty. It might take a little bit longer, but it is way better to do that than to get in a car and hit somebody or kill you or the people in your car or just an innocent bystander, whatever. Just make sure you plan ahead.
Have you ever scheduled a pickup? I schedule pickups all the time with either parties or the airport. So
I did it with an airport.
If it's a weird time, like 3 a.m, which we had to do, you just schedule it.
Just a little sidebar before we move on. I do sometimes the thing where you save a few bucks if you say, pick me up within 20 minutes or pick me up within 7 minutes. And there's like a tiered system. You know, the sooner the ride is guaranteed to show up, the more you pay.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, I don't need to leave right this second. So I'll do the 20-minute thing. And they show up in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Like they show up anyway, and I'm not ready to go.
Yeah.
That's happened to me a few times. It just happened last week, actually. So Amy and I were discussing how you should treat people.
Yep.
When you go out, especially during the holidays, especially that a lot of places are still short-staffed. Be nice. Be nice if you're at a restaurant, if you're at the store.
It blows my mind that people talk down to and look down on workers in the service industry, so entitled as if they have a right to order or boss around anyone at a retail store or a restaurant, whatever it may be. That person's not your servant.
No, they're not. And also, let's think about the people who work in hospitals, especially now in the flu season. And as we've discussed, flu cases and hospitalizations are up dramatically to a level we have not seen in about 11 years here in St. Louis. This text message to 314-436-7900. I'm an ER nurse. I apologize for the wait times, but flu season has ramped up and the hospital is full. There is nowhere to see patients, so you have to wait. While you are waiting, someone is going to go back before you. Don't get mad that you're still waiting. Be happy that you're not that person and that you're not dying.
Yeah.
Your runny nose or stubbed toe is not going to kill you.
Okay, I have a question. Great point, great text. Have you ever gone to the hospital for the flu?
No, I have not.
I have not. I know, knock on wood.
I'm not going to wood.
I know that would be like if you're having trouble.
I got my flu shot, though.
Yeah, trouble breathing or if you're becoming dehydrated. Okay, this was a few years ago. I'm still traumatized. It was during winter. I think it was January, maybe December. So flu season. And a friend of mine in the middle of the night fell. He had diabetes and he had low blood sugar and he passed out when he was going to get up to go to the bathroom, and he fell and he hit his face. And he cut his face down to the bone, like the cheekbone bone on a piece of glass. So we take him to the emergency room, and we took him to what I call Big Barnes down there in this, on Kings Highway. Took him to Big Barnes, and because he was cut, so yes, but they were able to stop the bleeding. We had to wait, and there were so many people in the emergency room, in the waiting room with the flu. And I won't get gross, but just buckets. I know there were at least 6 buckets.
God, yeah.
And I was so traumatized. And I remember there was a nurse at the desk, and she was like eating a sandwich. Just
like it was nothing.
Like it was nothing. And I'm thinking, A, this woman's a saint. And B, I am going to pass out. I started to pass out because I was so grossed out.
I knew an ER doctor who was, and imagine the things they see as you're talking about. He was disgusted by earwax.
What?
He could handle everything
else
except for earwax.
Earwax is gross.
I wonder how many doctors out there, people who see the most disgusting things ever, each one has to have something that grosses them out. If you are one of those people, if you're a doctor or a nurse, I need to know if something grosses you out that would surprise us. 314-436-7900. Here's a text message that says, As someone who's worked in food service for some capacity forever, I agree with Chris. Told you. The customer is always wrong. They get real entitled and demanding, and I am absolutely not getting paid enough to care. See?
That's pretty good.
See?
I didn't think I disagreed with you on
You
that
did.
part.
Well, then you disagreed that it was corporate America's fault. But it is.
With being demanding.
Yeah. Because we get things so fast and cheap, and everything is on demand
Would you
now.
prefer we made things more difficult to get and more expensive?
No, but I think we should recognize that things are easy and cheap, relatively speaking. So stop complaining.
Yeah.
Because it's not coming fast enough to
But
you.
I think that's the person's fault versus the company that's providing the fast, cheap, easy service.
Do you not believe in the concept of being conditioned?
I think you have a lot more agency than we give ourselves credit for.
Of course, but
You're
okay.
Look at you. You're living a fine life. Now you're a jerk, but you choose to be. You're not necessarily entitled, and you could be entitled. When you look at all of the population in the entire world that's ever lived, you are in the top 0.00001% in the history of mankind. As far as affluence, life being easy, comfortable, convenient. And if you weren't a jerk, you would be a nice person. Like you're a nice person to people that you don't know.
I want you to workshop all of that. Think about it again.
Okay.
Cardinals, there's a thing happening today until 2 o'clock. Yeah, this runs until 2 o'clock. It is the 11th annual holiday gift drive, which is being done by the Cardinals. So they're asking people to bring by a new unwrapped toy or gift card to Gate 4 at Busch Stadium, and that is today until 2 o'clock. So any fan who donates a toy or a gift card, again, unwrapped, it needs to be unwrapped at Busch Stadium, gets a thermal mug full of hot chocolate from Delaware North Sports Service and a token of appreciation from the Cardinals. And this is while supplies last. So again, it's 12:14 right now. You've got about an hour and 45 minutes to get down to Busch Stadium, Gate 4, and bring a toy or gift card. And hopefully there will still be some things there. And this is for kids who they want something at Christmas. There are a lot of people who are not fortunate enough, as you know, to have a good Christmas. And this will help. This helps some of those. All right. So make sure you get down there and get that done. We are going to talk with Matt Pauley.
The KMOX sports fella.
Yeah, KMOX sports fella, Matt Pauley. I bet Matt Pauley is a delight when he goes to a restaurant as a customer.
I have never seen Matt Pauley be anything but extraordinarily kind.
Actually, I take that back. I bet when they bring his iced tea to the table, he probably says, "Thank you," without making eye contact. And then as the server's walking away, I bet he says something to the effect of, "Took long enough."
Wouldn't that be something?
We're going to find out. We're going to find out what kind of guy.
He's the nicest guy.
He really is a nice fellow.
What if this is his one thing? He's and it's only iced tea. He gets super PO'd about iced tea. That's his one thing.
What if the one thing about Matt Pauley is he's just a jerk to a server? Like all servers.
Oh, I couldn't be friends with that person. We need to talk to Matt Pauley about this.
We'll
because
find out.
I can't handle that.
We'll find out.
Okay.
We're going to find out from Matt coming up next on the show.
For everything online, it's Odyssey.com. Download the Odyssey app and listen to The Dave Glover Show and all the news, talk, sports, and podcasts that move you. Odyssey, that's AUDACY.
How would you like to come home to a bartender who will fix you any cocktail you want? I'll have an old fashioned.
I'll have a margarita.
Now you can with the Bartesian Home Cocktail Maker. Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian Cocktail Maker. And now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/cocktail. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now. only at Bartesian.com/cocktail. That's BARTESIAN.com/cocktail for Bartesian's best deal ever. Only at Bartesian.com/cocktail.
Join us at Odyssey as we do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. This holiday season, invest in some LED Christmas lights. They use significantly less energy than regular bulbs. When we each share our one thing, it becomes a million things for our planet. What's your one thing?
When's the last time you checked your 401k balance? Well, let me prepare you. It's not pretty. The 40-year record high inflation has cost many Americans almost 25% of their 401k savings, and with a volatile market hinting at a possible worse recession, I'm worried. Are you? Meanwhile, President Biden was recently questioned at an ice cream shop if he was worried about the economy.
Our economy is strong as hell. Inflation is worldwide, worse off everywhere else than it is in the United States.
So you have a choice to make. You can sit back and relax like the president and act like nothing is happening, or you can be proactive and call Steve Auld of the Auld Financial Group and stop losing your money. Call Steve today and ask for that Stop Losing the Money plan, 636-230-8824. At 636-230-8824, or visit yourmoneymattersstl.com. Advisory services offered through Retirement Wealth Advisors, LLC, the Auld Financial Group, and Retirement Wealth Advisors not affiliated. Insurance and annuities offered through the Auld Financial Group.
Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. If you want the best looking home in the neighborhood, call Banner Construction. You should know that Banner is a James Hardie Elite Preferred Contractor. James Hardie Fiber Cement Siding has the rich look and feel of wood. And Banner's also a platinum certified Pella window contractor. Those Pella windows are beautiful and they come with a 30-year warranty. Since 1993, my friends at Banner have engineered their projects to go beyond the basic low-cost solutions. That's more than 25 years of experience. And now is the perfect time to plan for this important project and do what the Brennans do. Call on the experts at Banner. They're ready to help. After all, one of the safest investments you can make today is an exterior renovation to your home. And Banner Homes have timeless beauty, striking curb appeal, and ultra-low maintenance. If you take pride in your home, trust it to the team of experts at Banner Construction. Call 314-569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com.
Live and local, this is St. Louis's News Radio, KMOX.
I made a mistake, Amy.
Oh, yeah?
I looked at Twitter.
Oh.
And it's not Twitter.
Okay.
It's what was on Twitter, and it was Kanye West.
Oh.
Who just had an appearance in the last hour on InfoWars.
Okay. I mean, a beacon of integrity.
Yeah.
That combo is.
Well, Kanye, first of all, has a full black mask over his head that covers everything, his eyes and his mouth. And I don't know what he's doing. But he said, I mean, I feel like I can't say this and then just move on.
Okay.
But I'm going to anyway. Quote, I see good things about Hitler. That's Kanye West.
He said that on InfoWars.
And then he said, quote, I like Hitler.
Oh, my gosh.
And then he said, quote, they did good things too. We've got to stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
So, okay, there's so much.
This is Kanye West, just like an hour ago.
First of all, this man, it has obviously is incredibly racist, prejudiced, bigoted,
Good Lord,
and he
this
had all
dude.
that. He's having a mental illness breakdown that we're all watching. Again, these prejudices were already there, and for whatever reason, he is emboldened right now to say he's living in this bizarre world where he is saying all of these things. Just a vile, vile human being. And I did see from Ben Collins of NBC, he said the anti-Semitism that Kanye West is spewing right now is so vile that Alex Jones is pushing back.
Yes, he was.
Alex Jones was, okay, also anti-Semitic, but like he's pushing back. That's how vile Kanye West is. This man needs to be taken off of public platforms.
Yes, he does. And this was, I know we're not into silencing and free speech or whatever. This guy deserves no platform. Sorry,
well, and
he just doesn't.
Not only that, but I
And-
mean, I think he needs to be institutionalized.
Yes, he does. And by the way, the Department of Homeland Security just yesterday put out warnings about Jewish people, LGBT people, and migrants are are under threat of violence because of all this rhetoric. On that, let's bring in Matt Pauley, the sports fella.
Oh my
He's with us now. What a great lead in for you, Matt. Let me ask you this question, okay? Because we were just talking about it. Are you kind to servers at restaurants?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I want it especially right now where nobody's working. It seems like you walk into these restaurants. I was at a Smash Burger the other day, and there was 2 people working. The cashier is literally out there also making like milkshakes for people. Like it's ridiculous what these people who are willing to work have to go through. So I'm appreciative. I'll tell you, this is kind of a funny story. Maybe it's gonna make me look a little bit like a jerk.
Then let's tell it by all means.
I knew it, Amy. I told you. Go ahead, Matt.
The frustrating thing about restaurants right now is they're so overworked. Your meal is screwed up every time. Like especially if you get a to-go order, you are just rarely getting everything correct. And that's a bummer because you're paying for it. So I think it's right to be a little bit annoyed. But again, we go back to what I just said, that these people are so incredibly overworked. So the other day we get this order, and my order is completely messed up. And there's literally a huge sticker on the top of the plate, the plastic plate where you lift it up, that says what my order is, like 20 size font. So it's right there on top. And then you open it up, and my entire thing is messed up. And I was so frustrated in the moment. So I took a video of it where I showed the thing and I opened it up so you could see what the order was, and then very clearly see that the order was messed up. And I sent that video on Twitter, not like publicly, but I sent it, I DM'd it to the restaurant corporate, and they wrote back to me and said, "What can we do?" And I didn't respond. And a day later, I apologized. I was like, they're overworked. I'm sorry. I was frustrated in the moment. I appreciate the fact that you even had people working there and you were able to open. So yeah, I was kind of jerky in the moment when I sent that video. But then a day later, I apologized for it.
Good for you, man. Because some people might have burned the place down.
And you didn't do it publicly. You did a private message.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think for us, like with what we do, how petty do we look,
dude,
when we
we
do stuff publicly?
Yes. One of my least favorite things, and I feel like it's tapered off a little bit, but when people make public Twitter complaints about airlines, Delta, how
I've done it.
Like how dare you? Like that kind of stuff. I think it looks really bad.
Yeah, I've done it at like my worst moment, but you never look back at that decision and think it was a good decision.
Yeah.
Like in the moment, you're like, I'm gonna show them, and I don't have a lot of Twitter followers. I got like 2,000 Twitter followers. I'm gonna show my 2,000 Twitter followers that Southwest Airlines messed up, and it's like, what are you doing?
There was a time,
why does it matter?
I think there was a time where earlier companies were like, yeah, gosh, that's embarrassing. Let's fix it. But now they're like, forget these people.
Yeah.
Matt,
I will say this. I did send a private message to a clothing shop one time because the sleeve fell off of my dress at the party.
Oh. Well, you shouldn't be tugging at it.
It was like this party dress, and those things aren't cheap. Then I'm gonna buy this party dress for Christmas. It was a Christmas party, and it was like an off the shoulder dress, and it was so off the shoulder that the sleeve fell off completely, fell off the dress. And so I just held up the sleeve and then took a picture and sent it to them, and they're like, "We're sorry. We'll try to send you another one."
Yeah, they should just
the party's
let it go.
over.
Yeah, too late now. Matt,
you should have just told everybody like that was the style. Like, look at any red carpet show. I'm sure there's lots of dresses with only one sleeve.
Do you know what I did?
on.
I stuck part of the sleeve under my armpit and held my arm down so that it looked like the sleeve was still attached.
Okay, what a great story. You tell me my stories suck.
Your stories are so stupid.
That was the stupidest story we've heard.
Except
in
for
probably
the Granite City shooter was a pretty exciting story.
That was yeah. Oh my God, he shot at my mother.
I know.
That's not funny.
But the sleeve fell off my
Why
dress.
are you laughing about?
I'm not laughing.
He shot at my mom. My mom is fine. He didn't hit her. God. Anyway,
Well,
Matt
Amy
Pauley,
talking through laughter literally just goes,
yeah.
I'm not laughing.
Not.
My mom gets shot at, literally shot at, and Amy's laughing about it. Well,
Anyway.
Matt, I was going to ask you about the winter meetings, but we started talking about nonsense and Kanye loving Hitler.
Oh my
So are the winter meetings are coming up. Are they going to be good? Yes or no?
I think they are. Well, I think I'm on with you guys every day next week. While we're out there.
Beautiful. All right, then we'll talk next week. Sports Open Line tonight, right? 6 o'clock?
6 to 7. We're out early for Thursday Night Football.
Love you, Matt.
Love you too.
Bye. Yeah, I got it back from him. Matt Pauley, KMOX Sports. Listen to Sports Open Line tonight at 6 o'clock. It's the show on KMOX.
Spend your afternoon with Dave Glover.
I had COVID. It sucked, but it was a few days. I definitely don't have long COVID. What I do have, though, I have COVID time displacement. Parts of time seem weird to me.
What does it feel like it should be to you?
It feels like it should be about 2014, 2015. And I'm telling everyone over waffles, like, no, listen to me. Listen, Donald Trump was president. They're like, shut up, Dad. What? I'm just like, no.
The Dave Glover Show. Weekdays now beginning at 1 on KMOX.
This holiday season, Diamonds Direct gives you the gift of 0% interest financing for 3 years on any purchase. With high prices and high interest rates everywhere else, Diamonds Direct is here with the incredible shopping experience you need. Our guaranteed best value prices will save you money. And with 0% interest, you can spread your payments over 3 years with no finance charge, period. And for this holiday season, we're showcasing an expanded selection of affordable and timeless holiday gifts. Rings, earrings, pendants, bracelets, colored gemstones, and if you're upgrading her diamond or getting engaged over the holidays, we have one of the largest diamond selections in America. All sizes and shapes, all cut for maximum brilliance, and all offered at our amazing direct importer, no middleman prices. Check out our holiday gift guide now at diamondsdirect.com. Buy now or come into the showroom. Let one of our experts guide you in finding the holiday gift that's at the top of their list. And enjoy 3 years zero interest financing on any holiday purchase. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
KMOX News Time is 12:29. Donate a car, get a tax receipt, and tickets to the St. Louis Aquarium at mersgoodwill.org.
It's easy to think all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different? How? You sell high commission investment products, right?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission-based investment products.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Nope, never at Fisher. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our client's best interest. It's the highest standard of care for a financial advisor.
How do you know what's in their best interest?
We get to know our clients and then tailor a portfolio based on their goals and needs.
But you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No, we have one transparent management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, you really do look out for your clients.
That's because our top priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. It might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly different money management.
Investments and securities involve the risk of loss.
At 12:30, it's sunny and 39 degrees downtown at the Arch. Presidents Joe Biden and Emmanuel Macron are holding talks right now, and they're holding a news conference.
And I believe your positions being so clear, it is something important to us because we're both working for sustainable peace. We also talked about the direct and indirect consequences of this war, including on food security and energy security for the entire planet. And our joint initiatives within the G20, the G7, very much go in that direction.
That is French President Emmanuel Macron through a translator speaking live right now at that news conference about the war in Ukraine. The college football playoff says it will expand to a 12-team event starting in 2024. The expansion is expected to produce about $450 million in additional gross revenue for conferences and schools. Ronald McDonald House is full. The president of the organization in St. Louis, Dan Harbaugh, says they currently have 39 bedrooms available for families whose children are receiving medical care in town, and those are very full every night with a waiting list of 20 other families. A new Ronald McDonald House under construction at Choteau and Tower Grove Road will add 72 bedrooms.
We have a lot of community space, which is very important for the families because they're all long ways away from their family, friends, and support systems, and the other families become their family, friends, and support systems.
Harbaugh says families come from all over the world to St. Louis for the excellent pediatric care here. We've got a vehicle fire 6440 east before 270 in the right lane. Stall 64 east at McKnight in the right shoulder, and 270 south before Manchester on the right shoulder. And the forecast for this afternoon, some sun and a high of 44 degrees. Clouds overnight, the low 37. Mix of clouds and sun tomorrow. Windy with a high of 56. Right now it's sunny and 39 degrees downtown at the Arch. I'm Michael Calhoun, KMOX News.
Hi, this is Kevin Killeen. Merry Christmas, and please keep an eye on your tree. Don't leave it plugged in when you're not around, and do not, as I once did, buy your wife a vacuum cleaner for Christmas.
Happy holidays from KMOX.
Driven by the Bomarito Automotive Group, the voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Happy holidays. This is Ron Kraszewski, Chairman and CEO of Stifel Financial, a global wealth management and investment banking firm with over 9,000 associates headquartered in St. Louis. This time of year, let us be thankful for the many blessings that bring us together. From our Stifel family to yours, we wish you a joyful holiday season and much success in the year to come.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-5555. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, behind on taxes houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-5555. That's 314-782-5555.
Your home of the Cardinals.
Arenado swings and hits it deep to left field. That ball is out of here.
The Billikens.
Jumper. Yes! Billikens win.
The Chiefs.
Touchdown! Kansas City.
We are America's sports voice. KMOX.
314-436-7900 on the show to text us or to call us. 314-944-1120. You want to leave Amy or me a voicemail? Well, hell, we'd love to hear from you. This text message from a 314 in regard to the rude people to servers, rude to servers, customer service people. This texter from a 314. A lady once returned bacon because it was too thick. She bought thick sliced bacon.
Yep.
I told her to go blank herself.
Oh,
See?
well,
That guy gets it.
what happened to him after he said that?
I don't know. He didn't follow up. So maybe he'll let us know. Did you get fired? Did you get in trouble? I'd like to know.
Yeah, we want to know.
314-436-7900. Another one from Mobile, Alabama. Hello, Mobile. My wife's coworker brought her child to work today. The child has lice.
No.
There's no way that's true.
No.
See, this is why there have to be paid sick days. There have to be. There has to be, for people like this, some recourse to not feel like I absolutely have to go to work. I have nobody to watch my kid or whatever.
I would leave. I would say either this person leaves and now we have to spray down the whole building, or I'm leaving and it'll be dead air.
Yeah,
I'm not getting lice.
I totally agree with you.
I can't get lice. What if Dave had lice again?
Oh, producer Dave?
Yes.
Yeah.
Would you sit in the studio?
No, he's got body lice right now.
That's disgusting. Is that a thing?
Are you serious?
What's body lice?
It's on your body.
I've only heard of hair lice.
Well, there's hair on your body. Like, you're just now hearing about this?
Well, I just thought there was one kind of lice. A louse? One kind of louse.
There's multiple louses.
I thought there's... So wait, can you have body lice and not hair lice?
I don't know.
Who's ever said the phrase body lice?
You've never heard of body lice?
No, I've just heard of lice, as in the louse that sits on your head because you have hair.
Well, let me tell you one place you're going to find body louse.
Yes.
in a hotel bathtub.
Ew.
A story from thepointsguy.com, person who travels a lot and is
Yeah.
a blogger, says that, and this is, he wrote a story today,
Ugh.
and the story says that he loves going to a hotel,
Mhm.
having a long day of flights with delays and then baggage problems. He
Mhm.
loves to get to his hotel
Yep.
and have a soak
Okay.
in the
that's,
tub.
That's disgusting.
But-
and this is something that's portrayed in movies as well.
Yeah, I've seen it. I don't get it. But here is a quote from the co-founder of a hospitality design firm called Studio 11.
Yeah.
And she says, her name is Kelly Cerna, and she says hotels are increasingly focused on being destinations for guests and locals and embracing surrounding communities. With so much to explore on property and nearby, there's little need to provide a long, luxurious bath experience. So hotels are starting to transition away from tubs and just have showers like normal people do. I was disgusted to
Bob.
find out before the
Yeah.
show today that Amy Marks Kors, that lady sitting right over there
Me?
looking at me,
Yeah.
you and your face looking at my face.
Yeah.
You love hotel
Oh my
bathtubs
gosh.
so that you could take a bath in the hotel?
Okay, guys.
That is absolutely disgusting.
This is fake news. I don't even take a bath in my home. I find baths disgusting. You're soaking in filth. And you may wonder, well, haven't you talked about ice baths? Yes, I have. I have taken an ice bath, and I will just, you keep your running clothes on and you just get in the bathtub and you get an ice bath and then you take a shower. I find bathtubs disgusting. I don't take a bath in my own home.
Mhm.
It's not my thing. And I also find it incredibly hot and boring.
Hot and boring. What?
Yes. Bathtubs are hot and boring. Like you're sitting there and you're like, well, first of all, I'm getting too warm. So I'm kind of sweaty, but I'm sweating into a tub where I'm sitting. So now I'm sitting in dirty water and it's boring. Like you're just sitting there. And I don't know, it's like kind of humid. So you don't really want to be on a screen. It's just, and it's wet. It's not, I just don't get baths. I've never gotten baths. They're not fun to me. The most I can do is if I'm with a friend and that friend is insistent on like a super duper chlorinated hot tub for 10 minutes, I have to overcome my disgust as long as there's no one else in the hot tub. And even that is way worse than a bathtub because it's other people's filth, but I think I take comfort in the chlorine. At any rate, I've been in a hot tub before. Bathtubs are gross.
Did you not take a bath in a hotel? You just told the story about it like 2
It's
hours
worse,
ago.
guys. It's worse than taking a bath in a hotel because I don't take baths in hotels.
That's what you said.
And
but then you did it.
And it wasn't a bathtub. It was a shower.
Oh, okay. I thought
which
you were
is
going to say
even
toilet.
more disgusting. I was delirious. I ran a marathon.
Oh, God, again
Shocking.
with the running.
He hates it. I was delirious and my legs were really, really sore. And I just needed an ice bath. I don't know why I was so insistent. I really swear I was dehydrated and delirious because I never take ice baths. Anyway, or very rarely, I filled up the shower, which had a lip. It was a tile shower and it had a lip like around the shower that maybe was 3-4 inches. So not even deep enough where you can soak your legs. And I filled it up with cold water and put ice in it and sat down.
Ew.
And thinking about it now
Ugh.
makes me gag.
That's so
I want to
disgusting.
throw up because there's mildew in the corners of those tiles.
That's that is
I'm sitting in
yeah.
mildew. What was I
can't believe it.
thinking?
I don't know.
This was like 8 years ago and it keeps me up at night.
You're
Still.
you're so disgusting.
It's
But
disgusting.
I never so I've been to many hotels. Most of the hotels I've been to historically have a traditional tub with a shower in it. And I've never once thought like, oh, I'd like to plug this thing up right now and sit down in it. Just never even occurred to me.
Because it's disgusting.
There's no way they get cleaned.
There's no
absolutely
way.
no way.
I mean, you as someone who doesn't trust bathtubs, which at least are smooth, right? At least they're smooth and they can be bleached. This was a tile shower, meaning there's grout and mold and mildew and crevices and cracks. And they're not scrubbing that shower floor.
That's exactly the point.
And I sat down in it.
So
I think I lost my mind. I lost my mind.
Well,
and I did that one time, and it's who knows? I could die tomorrow of something that I picked up in that shower.
so to further that story that we were talking about, here's another quote from Paige Harris, who is Valor Hospitality Partners. It is a design and development firm. And she says that hotel bathtubs are practically obsolete. So you'll never get the option of going into a hotel unless you go to a real scummy place that never gets renovated. And then in which case you can do it still if you want to. I never even thought about doing that. I can't believe that a person would want to. According to the CDC's website, Amy, body lice are 2.3 to 3.6 millimeters in length. They live and lay eggs on clothing and only move to the skin to feed.
Oh my gosh. Are they different than head lice?
I don't know, but they are known to spread disease.
This
So,
is disgusting. This
regularly-
is the worst radio show I've ever heard.
Well, you didn't know they existed, but now people. So here's the way to fix that problem: improve your hygiene.
Try getting cleaned up. Ever tried that? Ever thought of it? Thought of a shower?
Regular changes of clean clothes.
Yep.
It is the only treatment needed for body lice infestation.
That's so gross.
That is according to the Center for Disease Control.
When you have head lice, you have to comb them out.
Did you ever?
I've never had head lice, but I saw
No,
it
they
on
have
Schitt's Creek.
there's a solution like a shampoo, I think.
But right, and I thought they just fell out. I don't know. Again,
What's
I've
it called? Rid?
I
No,
don't
that's
know.
the stuff that kills cockroaches.
I've
What is-
I've
Isn't
never,
it?
I don't know. I've
No,
never
Rid
had,
is a lice treatment.
I've never had head lice, but on Schitt's Creek, Alexis got it.
No,
and-
Alexis.
And he had to comb and pick out the lice, each louse by louse.
I don't think that's how that works.
I think
you
they
can.
do.
No, you can kill this with the Rid.
But even if you kill it, you have to pick it out louse by louse.
When you were a kid, did you ever? And I don't know if this is just a where I went to school thing, but they used to come in regularly and check everybody for lice. Did
First
you
of
have
all,
that? Oh, you didn't go to school.
I
That's
was
right.
homeschooled. Yeah.
So
So, no, that's probably why I didn't get lice. We also very rarely got sick.
Yeah. Well, when you're isolated out in the sticks
That's
and you don't
exactly
have any
right.
neighbors, you can't get sick.
We were
You
just
guys
doing
don't
our
s-
learning.
Yeah, when you're a little house on the prairie,
That's right.
you can't catch any diseases out there.
That's right.
Except for the
because
chickens.
There were a lot of episodes of Little House on the Prairie. I don't think there was a lice episode.
We also talked about, or we asked anybody who works in a hospital, a nurse, a doctor, whatever, to let us know if anything makes them grossed out.
Right.
I told the story about an ER doctor I knew who, this is an emergency room physician who
Yep.
was absolutely disgusted
Mhm.
by earwax. Couldn't
Which
deal
is
with
weird.
it.
I can see how
Right?
he probably didn't deal with a lot of earwax in the ER.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe people come in like, I'm plugged up, I can't hear, and they're like, dummy, you got earwax in there. I don't know. But this texter says, I am a nurse.
Mhm.
Blood, vomit, phlegm, urine, not bad. Bad smelling BM, yuck.
Oh,
Can't deal with that. See, I think that happens to be true. I think a lot of people in the medical field, and you would think they're exposed, they've cut open bodies in medical school or whatever, and they have to deal with fluids and all that stuff. Each one of them has something that absolutely grosses them out. And I find that fascinating.
do you know what I find fascinating? That we
No.
decided to have this conversation in the noon hour when, people could be eating lunch.
Yeah, well, this isn't the time to eat lunch.
Right. You should have eaten lunch way before 12:30,
Like Amy eats her lunch at 10:30.
which
So,
feels like 12:30 to me.
well, when we come back, we'll have more bathroom talk.
Yeah, you know what? You're not so okay. Everyone brings their iPhone into the bathroom these days, and you could be sitting on the toilet too long. It could be bad for you to sit on the toilet too long.
This text message says, so all I heard was Amy is ground zero for COVID off a tile shower floor. Thanks, Amy Grosscore.
8 years ago. That would be that was a slow start.
There's another great text, but I don't know if I can read it.
Probably not.
I'll read it.
Anyway,
I'm going to read it. Actually,
no. No.
okay, I
If
won't
it-
read it.
I
won't read it. All right.
Love a new
we'll
co-host.
We'll take a break.
I would if any of you are looking for a job, 314-436-7900.
Amy Marks Core's Chris Ranji on the show on KMOX.
Hey, this is Charlie Brennan. Treat yourself to Old Town Donuts, a family-owned bakery making award-winning donuts since 1968. Pick up a dozen today for less than $10. Old Town Donuts, open today and 7 days a week in Florissant and Cottleville.
Charlie Brennan sees clearly thanks to Dr. Birdie and Malhotra. You can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
Winter Wonderland, presented by Byerly RV at Tillis Park, is open now through December 30th. Enjoy more than 1 million dazzling lights with holiday characters and festive scenes while listening to your favorite Christmas songs. You'll never see anything like Winter Wonderland at Tillis Park. More details at KMOX.com. And happy holidays from Washington University Orthopedics, Neighbors Credit Union, Kirkwood Fence, Design Air Heating and Cooling, and Telly Tire and Auto Centers.
Get into the spirit of the season with a free holiday concert by the U.S. Air Force Band of Mid-America at the Two Hill Performing Arts Center on Friday, December 2nd at 7 p.m. Free tickets at twohill.org. That's twohill.org.
Now your Bite This Network traffic report. It looks like every vehicle in the country is currently headed to Hardee's for a saucy A1 double cheeseburger for only $2.99. You heard that right. Every single car, truck, and annoying electric scooter thing all heading to Hardee's. But don't take a detour. Hit the brakes on your hunger with a Charbroil Double Deal. Bite into the new A1 Double Cheeseburger for only $2.99, only at Hardee's. Tax not included. Available for limited time at participating Hardee's restaurants. Price may vary. A1 is a registered trademark of Kraft Foods used with permission.
Ah, the sweet sounds of a quiet garage door. Never heard it? Schedule your garage door tune-up with Overhead Door of St. Louis. It's only $89.95 for the 26-point safety inspection and tune-up. That's one price for up to 3 garage doors and openers. Add nylon rollers for a smooth, more quiet operation. The Overhead Door brand is trusted by homeowners in St. Louis since 1926. Schedule your garage door tune-up online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com or call 314-781-5200.
Tom Ackerman for Building Community with Busey Bank, a podcast series easily accessible at KMOX.com/community banking. For all of 2022, we've showcased Busey's community partners. Busey Wealth Management has been helping clients for over 100 years. In our December podcast, we discuss year-end planning and charitable giving strategies with Busey's Janice Walters and Jeff Burgess. Listen to our December podcast, Building Community with Busey Bank, at KMOX.com/community banking.
Men suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, regardless of age or past medical history, you'll see instant results on your first visit at Paramount Men's Medical Center. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free. Call now, 314-720-8081.
This holiday season, give the gift of life. Donate blood at the Odyssey Holiday Heroes Blood Drive Tuesday the 20th through Friday the 23rd at YMCA locations all over the region. Make an appointment at redcross.org.
The show, sponsored by Straight Realty, your St. Louis area experts. Why pay more than 4? 314-441-4444. Chris Ranji.
Wonderful bones, great eyes, and you dress really interesting.
On the show.
Chris Ranji, Amy Mark scores on the show. Yes,
Amy,
Ranji.
This texter, there are
gosh.
2 really good texters here that I
Are
want to
there?
get to before we
Are
say.
there?
Yeah. One of them says 314 from a 314. I run a funeral home, but every time I field dress a deer, I literally vomit.
Oh.
This person runs a funeral home but can't
Field
take
dress
apart
a
a
deer.
deer.
Well,
That's really unbelievable.
that is surprising.
You were talking about baths
Mhm.
being hot and boring. And we have a text message.
Oh, great. This is the worst.
This is also from a 314. And the text says, hot and boring is exactly how I describe Amy.
A little forward. I don't even know you. I don't even know this texter. Well, perhaps I do, but you're so thrilled. You're
It's
so thrilled with
ridiculous.
this.
And you know what you said? I read that to you off the air.
Mhm.
And you said, yep, you got that right. Like, what the hell?
Listen, we hot people. We can't check all the boxes.
Oh, God, I hate you so much. All right, what's the thing about toilets now?
Okay. Whew. So iPhones have forever changed our bathroom experience.
Yeah.
It said 65% of people said they use their phones in the bathroom, and the other 35% lied. And so there's that.
That's funny.
Yes, two types of people in this world. And the problem is when you use your iPhone on the toilet, you sit on the toilet longer than you should.
Yeah.
So a gastroenterologist at NYU said that you don't want to spend more than about 10 minutes on average sitting on the toilet, because sitting for prolonged periods of time could lead to hemorrhoids.
Yeah, you don't want hemorrhoids.
And they described what hemorrhoids are. Yes. And it says it comes down to the unique functional design of the toilet. You see, quote, there's a hole in the middle.
Well, yeah.
Toilet.
Yeah, I get that. The toilet is the hole where the stuff goes.
The
yeah.
doctor said, quote, there's a hole in the middle. And so he described, I don't even know what I can say because he's describing the body parts that are hanging a little bit lower than the part that's supported. So your thighs are supported, but the rectal area is not supported.
Yeah, I get it. So what ends up happening is
gravity is causing everything to
Yeah.
hang, and it puts pressure on the veins. So even if you're not straining, you're, quote, sitting there thinking of something else, doing something else, there is pressure being applied, and so you could get hemorrhoids.
I know a lot of people who at work will go in many times and sit there for like 15 minutes just to get away and get a break. Because when you're in the bathroom, nobody's going to come in there and tell you to get out of there and go
Right.
back to work.
The problem
Right?
is
That never happens.
But except we're on the air, so you leave the studio, you have 2 minutes, you run, you go to the bathroom, you come back. That's a little different.
Right. But you should definitely, it's very bad for you. Also, I would highly recommend a squatty potty.
Have you used a squatty potty?
I got one.
No.
Yeah, they're great.
Wait. And you put it over the toilet?
No, doofus, it's on the ground.
You go to the bathroom on the ground?
No, oh my God.
Oh my
Do you
gosh.
even know what it is?
Well, I think so, but I thought it was.
It's the little stool that you
Yeah.
put your feet on while you're there.
Oh.
And it's
yeah,
supposed to recreate the natural way of doing it.
Yeah.
When, the cave people,
Yeah.
they would squat in the woods. They didn't have a throne to sit on. So they have a little thing it's your body is
aligns
lined
everything.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it makes it a whole lot easier. So I would highly recommend some kind of stool to put your feet on while you're doing it.
Okay, just because we're talking about going to the bathroom, you mean like a footstool?
A footstool. Good. Go. Yes. A footstool. Yes. Not like a bar stool. That'd be a little difficult.
Well, if you just wanted to try it out, would they give you a stool sample?
Oh my God. Text message from a 314. The Four Seasons Hotel in St. Louis has tubs and separate showers in their rooms. That's really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nice hotels, I think, will have the walk-in shower. And then I thought you had to get a suite or something to have the freestanding clawfoot tub.
And we were talking, I'm right now processing all of the things we've discussed in the last half hour.
Yeah.
Lice, body
Yeah,
lice,
yeah.
and toilets and whatnot. And this texter says that's where the term nitpicking came from. You were picking the nits out of your scalp because you
Oh,
said
my gosh.
that's how people have to get rid of lice is by.
Like combing and picking them out.
And I always thought it
individually.
was just there was a shampoo for it, a special shampoo.
That's where the term comes from?
That's what this person says, and I have to believe the text message because the texters are never wrong.
That's false. And also, I thought it had to do with sweaters pilling, right? Your sweaters pill, so you have to pick the knits.
That could be it.
Your knits could
That
be
could be it.
pilled.
That could be it.
I don't know.
This I know we're about to say goodbye here.
Thankfully.
Good luck to you tomorrow if you plan to talk about Kanye West.
Oh my gosh.
Because that guy,
No, I don't. I mean,
it's amazing that we are like every day we say about Kanye West that he's losing it.
but he lost
always
it.
he always finds a lower point.
Yeah, because he is breaking down in a way that should not be public. He
No.
needs help, and he's obviously prejudiced and vile, and you combine that with whatever he's dealing with, and it's a disaster.
In case you're wondering, he was on InfoWars today and said, quote, "I love Hitler." Literally said those words. Wow. Amy Marchcords, this was fun.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll see you sometime. Oh, no, we're going to be here 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
The Dave Glover Show's coming in, but we're going to stick around here on KMOX.
Hey, KMOX listeners, Roger Wigginton here at Don Rogers Limited, 6727 West Main in Belleville. I'll let the shopping begin because we